This digital printer has revolutionized the printing industry and is now at TCP in Plymouth. They can do 4-color printing on anything from business cards, short-run brochures, pocket folders, to posters. And right now, TCP wants you to bring in a competitive quote, and they'll match or beat that price. Call TCP at 936-9505 to change your business look. TCP, changing the printing industry one satisfied customer at a time.
Who's in? Who's up?
Time now for the injury report here on the Gutter Guys pregame show, and really one injury to report, and that's on the Triton Lady Trojan side, in which, again, they're going to be absent their top scorer in Whitney Miller, the 5'9" senior who got injured for a third straight season. She dislocated her shoulder in the Winnemac game earlier this year, and so she is going to be out. She had 2 torn ACLs previously, so this poor girl has just been part of a walking wounded scenario, and it's very unfortunate because she's a wonderful young lady and a terrific basketball player who, again, won't be participating in another BiCounty. So it's the only bad injury report we got to talk about as far as that goes. Bremen's going in and helped the group a couple bangs and bruises, but for the most part, they are ready to try to win their second consecutive BiCounty basketball tournament. We'll talk more about that when we come back. We'll hear from both coaches of Triton and Bremen when we return on the Gutter Guys pregame show.
We needed a minivan for the kids. That's when I found my credit union, TCU. I got a great rate.
AJ, so you know, internet is dropping. Spike dropping. Like, it'll just go 70% down to nothing and then pop back up again. So if we cut out, that's just the way it's going to be.
Having fun saving.
To learn how TCU can help you, visit TCUnet.com.
My family, their future. That's why TCU is my credit union.
TCU, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, boss, you got a cord I can plug into?
Don't know where to start? Or maybe you're
If not, that's
for
all
a
right.
new challenge in your
Let
fitness
me get through this.
Whatever your situation, here's
take
a
this cord.
happier, healthier tomorrow, and it's available right now. Come to Plymouth's Fitness Forum Sports and Wellness Center. Make new friends. Join a group exercise program or aquatics class. Enjoy the Dance Academy. A more energetic, enthusiastic you begins at the Fitness Forum at Life Place. Stop in at Miller Drive or visit fitnessforum.biz.
Let's talk with the coaches on the Ancilla Chargers Sideline Show with Tony Ross.
Welcome to Courtside, brought to you by our good friends at Ancilla College. Find out how you can become an Ancilla Charger by logging on to ancillachargers.com. It's a pleasure to welcome in the head coach of the Lady Trojans, Coach Eckerman. And Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on what was a fantastic performance against the John Glenn team. Yeah, the turnovers were up there, but, you know, the fact that your girls grinded it out the way they did and beat a very good Glenn team, frustrating them in the shot category, you got to be pleased with that win. It's probably one of your better wins of the season. Would you agree on that?
I'd absolutely agree. I was really proud of their effort. They gave it all they had. Turnovers aside, I thought we hustled more. We got to the loose balls. We did the things we needed to do to win, and made enough at the end to finish it off. And hopefully we can see that same effort tonight.
And it took a team effort. It wasn't just one individual stepping up. I know you guys tried to get the ball inside the veers as much as you possibly can, which is, again, probably a very good game plan going up against Bremen tonight. But, again, there was it still looked like your girls had a mission and a game plan that they paid attention to Coach Eckerman, and they were trying their darndest to keep things going.
They were. Like you said, it was an all-around effort. We had kids step up at big times. We talked, I think, about Emma Hepler last time, stepping up in the fourth quarter with some big shots. Lexia Hostrauser led us in scoring, but, your leading scorer only has 9 points, and you have 2 or 3 others right there under with 8 and 6 and 5. Then it's harder to figure out who to try to shut down, because none of them are afraid to try to score, and I think that helps out a lot.
Let's talk about some of those individuals. I think tonight they're going to be pretty key in Hostrauser and Abby, and you're going to have an inside presence here just to kind of keep this Bremen team honest defensively. They're athletic in a lot of positions too. The last time you two teams met, Bremen really kind of took it to you. So what did we learn from that first meeting?
Well, hopefully we learned how to take care of the ball better, but I'm not exactly sure after the other night. But I think we're playing better defensively at this point in the season. We're learning about the angles that they take to take things away, and we worked a lot on that last night. So hopefully some of that carries through to today, to where we can find some easier passes, because they are. Bremen's very athletic. They play their 2-3, 2-1-2 zone really well. They do some nice trapping out of it. And our guards are going to have to take care of the ball to find Lexia and Abby down low, and get some shots up if we're open on the perimeter, and let them go to the boards. And, you know, hopefully those things pay off tonight.
So, I mean, really, I think maybe the simple game plan as far as the key to the game is concerned is just execution.
Yeah. You know, if we execute and take care of the ball, don't give them a bunch of live ball turnovers, we get some shots off. I think we have opportunity to get some offensive boards again tonight, and give our defense a chance to play. You know, they shoot the ball well. They shot the ball really well against Argus. Koffel's, you know, she's the best player here, and we're going to have to really key in on her and try not to let her get going, and you know, see what some of the other girls will do. And if we can test like we did against John Glenn, you know, we got to deal with what they can do outside, and if they're hitting them, then we may have to adjust some things.
Out of curiosity, and this will be my last, coach, so I can let you go talk to your girls. You know, being in a championship game in this Bi-county, you know, there's a little added pressure here, but boy, it sure does get you ready for the sectionals, doesn't it?
It does. This has been a great week for that. You know, you talk about the added pressure. I don't think the girls feel it, and I like that. I think they realize that, you know, looking at the brackets ahead of time, I'm pretty sure probably everybody picked OD or Glenn to be playing Bremen in the finals, and we're here. So they know they can just go out there, relax, and play. They know everybody's talking about what Bremen did to us the first time, which is fine. That means we can just go out and we can play the way we want to play hard, give a lot of effort, and we can come out and see what happens.
All right, buddy, we'll talk to you at halftime.
Thank you.
There he is, Coach Eckerman joining us here on the pregame show. Back with more in a moment.
Why take on loads of student loan debt when I can go to Ancilla College? They are the least expensive private college in Indiana. They've built a 100-bed residence hall, expanded 18 job-ready associate degree programs, and they have athletic teams I can join. I can choose from nursing, criminal justice, agriculture, and more. Ancilla College. We believe in you. Believe in yourself. www.ancilla.edu.
Welcome back to the pregame show as we remain courtside. Brought to you by our good friends at Ancilla College. Find out how you can become an Ancilla Charger by logging on to AncillaChargers.com. Alex Robinson, head coach of the Bremen Lady Lions, joins us. And Alex, congratulations making it to the championship game. And, you know, I know a lot of people probably not surprised at this, but you know what? You still got to do your job to get to where you're at, and that's exactly what your Lady Lions have done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Bi-county brings about some special things and special performances, so you can never come out and take anything for granted, whether it's the first round, semifinals, or championship. So I believe our girls are focused and ready to go.
You know, you won a game with Aaron Kaufel getting about, what, 4 points, if I remember correctly. Boy, that's going to make you feel good knowing the fact that you were finally got some support, especially from Haley Rodriguez. And I would imagine a night like this really puts a lot of confidence on her. And, you know, did you see that in practice yesterday?
I mean, we see it in practice every day, really. These girls come out and attack every single day, and, you know, we've seen Haley knock down shots like she did in the game. Not in the game, but to have her do it, it wasn't really a shocker. But to do it on a night where maybe Kaufel didn't have her best night just shows that, you know, we have more than just one or two that can step up. We really feel like we have all 5 out on the court that can make plays at any given time.
Tonight you got Triton. This is a team that surprised an awful lot of people getting that win against Oregon Davis, and a lot of it has to do with their stick-to-itiveness. Talking about that, I mean, because sometimes, you know, matchups are what they are, and again, you guys are predicted to win this. You can't let this go to the head, but, you know, I'll tell you, with this particular group, you don't have to worry about that, do you?
No, I'm not really worried about that. I know that they're ready to go, and like I said, they're not going to take anything lightly. We did play Triton earlier in the year, but that was a long time ago. That was maybe the first week of the season. They're usually our, second or third game. So, you know, that's in the past. And as far as Triton, they have the ability to make any game close. That's one thing. If they can get it to 1 or 2 possessions late in the game, that's exactly where they want to be, and that's what they did with John Glenn in the semifinals. Is they pack in their defense, they make you really work the ball around, and they're patient on offense, and you know, they really have the potential. They've done it to us many times before to make it that 1 or 2 possession game, and our goal is really to avoid that.
You know, they got pretty good inside presence too. How you planning on countering that?
Yeah, I think even though we may seem a bit undersized, we're pretty strong, and our girls down low really play well together. So we should always have, you know, 2 on the ball if it's down low in the post. And the big thing is we definitely have to rebound. I thought their 2 posts inside did a really good job against John Glenn, whether it was hitting the boards, battling for position. They're both very strong. They're both very capable. So that's definitely a focal point of our defense tonight.
All right, buddy. Best of luck. Go get him.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Alex Robinson, head coach of the Lady Lions, joining us here on the pregame show. Back with more in a moment.
Have you been keeping up with your local news? Do you know what events are going on in your city or town? If you're not connected, you should be with the Pilot News. The Pilot News is your hometown newspaper that's been Marshall County's official news source since 1851. Get ready as the Pilot News is offering a one-day-only leap year circulation special Friday, February 28th from 8 to 4. It's for 15 weeks at an incredible low cost of just $29.
Thank you,
this
sir.
offer must be prepaid. Limited one special per household. In-state subscriptions only. Mark it down on your calendar. February 28th from 8 to 4. The one-day-only leap year circulation special of the Pilot News.
Time now for the keys to the game, sponsored by A&M Home Services. Once again, here's Tony Ross.
Welcome back here to the Daly Cox Gymnasium as the folks continue to file in as we get ready for the championship game between the Bremen Lady Lions and the Triton Lady Trojans. Let's get to our A&M Home Services keys to the game. And, you know, guys, let's face it, these are 2 different teams right now heading in different directions. However, the common denominator in this, it's a Bi-county championship, which means really records mean nothing. It's all how you play on this one night. And if you're the Triton Lady Trojans, you really got to be coming off a nice high, knowing the fact that you could play with some good teams, especially after that win against John Glenn.
Well, and there's no pressure on Triton, just like Adam Heckerman said. Everyone's expecting, A, they weren't expecting Triton to be here, and B, they're expecting repeat performance of the first time these 2 teams met. So Triton can play this game as loose can be, and although Bremen hasn't shown really any chinks in their armor, again, what Triton's going to want to do is the exact same thing they did to Glenn: shorten the game, stay in the game, be in the fourth quarter, make it's still a game within reach, and then maybe Bremen gets tight, and then the pressure starts to get Bremen. I guarantee you one thing Triton doesn't want to do, Tony, is they don't want to turn this into a track meet, because they want to do everything in their power to keep it a half-court game. Because if this thing turns into even where a 3-quarter court game where Bremen's getting out in transition, turn out the lights.
And, quite frankly, the Lady Lions could play both, though. If they want to go half-court, Evan, they'll go half-court. And if they want to run the ball, which they like to do because they got the horses to do it, they're more than willing to take on that role as well.
Yeah, Bremen seems to be comfortable no matter what pace the game is at. If they want, obviously they seem to want to make it a track meet if they're able to, but if the other team's trying to slow it down and play half-court game and keep both teams playing in the half-court, they're able to execute offensively and run their sets and be able to be defensively sound as well.
I got to admit, the one factor here tonight is probably different than most, is the Erin Caulfield factor. Again, talking with her before the game, I said, so 4 points, and she just looks at me and goes, and you know what?
Don't tell Adam Heckerman you told her that.
It's just one of those scenarios where, oh boy, when that young lady, I've just seen that young lady play so many sports, and especially on the softball. When she's disappointed, she follows up usually with an incredible performance the next game. And boy, it's going to be entertaining to see what kind of game plan there will be against an Erin Caulfield, and it's going to have to be executed to perfection.
I'll bet she's been thinking of that 4-point performance for the last 48 hours.
More than likely.
What do you think? And again, I really expect her to come out at the top of her game, and as she always does, she's going to elevate her teammates.
All right, coming up next, we're going to get you ready for the starting lineups, and we'll get to those in just a little bit after this 1-minute timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we honor America. From roofs to basements, A&M Roofing has you covered. Make A&M your Master Elite GAF certified contractor. Install roofs and warranties. Licensed
The Shepherd and Auto Group of Rochester. Here's a look at our starting lineups with Coach Steve Cox.
Now let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's varsity girls contest, beginning with the guest team on the scoreboard, the Bremen Lions. Starting at one guard, a 5'4" senior, number 12, Bailey Vermillion. Starting at second guard, a 5'7" southpaw, number 15, Ella Foster. Starting at third guard, a 5'6" senior, number 21, Aaron Koffel. Starting at fourth guard, a 5'2" junior, number 22, Haley Rodriguez. And starting at forward, a 5'8" senior, number 20, Delanera Duran. Bremen High School is coached by Alex Robinson. Now let's meet the starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard, the Triton Trojans. Starting at one guard, a 5'3" southpaw, number 4, Taryn Yates. Starting at second guard, a 5'7" junior, number 20, Jalen Bulis. Starting at third guard, a 5'2" freshman, number 34, Kinsey Atkins. Starting at one forward, a 5'10" junior, number 24, Abby Veers. Start the other forward, a 5'10" junior, number 32, Lexia Hostrauser. Triton's coached by Adam Heckerman.
All right, that's your starting lineups, brought to you by our good friends at the Shepherd Auto Group, where we always treat you like family. All right, Doug, out of the gate early, what do you expect from both teams?
Well, like you'd expect from the defending champion Bremen, look for them to try to jump all over Triton and get the turnovers going. Turnovers leading to fast break opportunities, and I would expect Triton to try to pound it inside like they did against John Glenn, and to see if Bremen can counter them on the blocks.
All right, tip-off is going to be between Hostrauser and Foster, and it will be controlled by the Lady Trojans. They'll be going right to left on your radio dial. They're wearing the home unis tonight in their white and blue and yellow trims, while the all-green uniform by the Lady Lions. Here's a lead down low to Bulis, and she has to kick it back out, and Vermillion went to go for a quick steal, and she's called for an early foul right around 13 seconds into this contest. Trying to jump that passing lane there, just did not get there in time. So Triton will inbound left to the basket, as Atkins will look to do the honors. Able to find Bulis on that right angle high, over to Atkins again. They'll keep the ball outside the perimeter. Vermillion hawking her. Now it's Bulis skipping it over to Taryn Yates. Back to the top to Atkins again. Trying to attack that high 2-3 shown here by the Lady Lions. Bulis reversed it over to Yates again. Lobbed it to the far corner, or near corner rather, and then it's going to be Hostrauser back into Yates again. Got it inside to Veers. Kicked it to an open wing. Atkins' first three of the night. That's long, and a rebound battle for, and it's going to come to Erin Koffel. She's going to push it up the court, left wing side of Vermillion, who's got a break on the left side, and she's going to draw the foul.
And there's one opportunity, Bremen looking right away to get out and run.
So it'll be an inbound. Taryn Yates gets called for that foul, a two-shot foul indeed for Bailey Vermillion, who comes in right at 50% on the season from the free throw line. She's going to knock it down. This is the girls' championship game between Triton and Bremen. Tonight, Bremen shooting for their 13th Bi-county tournament since this started in 1977. Bremen has the most Bi-county tournament titles with 12. As the next free throw misses, we're tied at 1. So Triton with the basketball. Atkins now will set it up from the back court. Welcoming all our viewers on LVH1 on the video stream. So if you want to watch the game and listen to us, you can do so through LVH1. Here's Bremen with a steal, and this is Erin Koffel. Get it off to the near side to Haley Rodriguez.
Triton wants to be patient, Tony, but they don't want those ill-advised passes like you saw in that last possession.
There's a skip all the way to the far corner of Vermillion. Has to bring it back to the top. Rodriguez quickly into Elia Foster. Nice lead down low to Duran, and she scores. Didi makes it a 3-0 Bremen lead. And now a lead to Atkins ends up going past her, and there's a Triton turnover. This Triton team had 20+ in their victory over John Glenn Thursday night. That number is not going to win them the game tonight. Here against a very more solid and tenacious oriented defense like Bremen's.
It goes without saying this first quarter is vitally important to Triton because you don't want Bremen to get on a run and, you know, have to play from way behind.
Lead down low to Duran. Got too far under and missed her shot. The rebound taken by Bulis, and Triton will get it up court. The handoff to Yates with 2 minutes into this first quarter as we're bringing it across the timeline. Now to Atkins again. Atkins gets it over to the right wing side to Bulis. Jalen works it over to Atkins, and Kinsey works it back to the top to Bulis again to Yates. Taryn has really taken advantage of the playing time, and now a timeout is called here by Adam Heckerman and Triton. So we'll take our first 30-second break. 5:38 left to go in the first frame.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Chester or online at shepherdsrochester.com. And remember, at Shepherd Chevy Buick in Rochester, they will always treat you like family.
Welcome back here to the friendly confines of the Daley Cox Gymnasium. 3-0, Bremen has the lead. Coming off the Triton timeout, Atkins goes to the right side, finding Yates, back over to Atkins. Kinsey, patient with the ball, gets it over to Yates in the right wing side. Again, a 2-3 zone shown here by Bremen, and they're really pressuring their two guards out high. Lexia Hoffelstrasser getting it back to the top, and then a lead back to her is going to be a bad pass by Bulis and a turnover by Triton.
And you're seeing, of course, Triton wanting to be deliberate and take as much time off of the clock to shorten this game, but at the same time, they got to run their offense. They got to get into their offense. I'm sure that's what Adam Heckerman told his Lady Trojans at the break.
Foster puts the ball down, throws up a short jumper, got the roll. Evan Magnus, you're in that timeout over at Triton. What did you hear Coach Heckerman talk about?
Well, Tony, Coach Heckerman just told his girls they've got to do a better job moving the ball against this 2-3 zone. If they can get some good ball movement, it should make for some good quality shots.
They can't turn over the basketball, and now they're back on their possession. Hoffelstrasser off the left side will bring it back to the top to Atkins again. Now got it over to Yates' right wing. Yates to the middle, Bulis to the near side, Atkins. Kinsey's three on the way. It's good! And Triton gets on the board. It's a 5-3 affair. Bremen ball and the 2-point lead. So it'll be Koffel with the basketball. Now to Rodriguez, down low to Duran, back high to Rodriguez, over to Koffel. Her three is going to be too long, and a rebound, Foster. Billy had to sky for it, and then a jump ball gets called here, and possession arrow will stay to Bremen.
Boy, Atkins' triple was a shot that Triton desperately needed, and that's what's going to have to happen throughout this contest if the Lady Trojans are to make a game of it. They've got to hit from the perimeter and hang around for as long as they possibly can.
Here's the outlet, finding the right corner to Rodriguez. Her first three of the night is going to be no good. Rodriguez had 6 threes in the last game for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, she was unconscious, hit 5 of them in the first quarter alone.
So off the miss, the ball went out of bounds. Triton will have it. Now they got a full court press to try to get through. And it's going to be Atkins dribbling away from a double team. Skipped it over to Taryn Yates on the right wing side. Yates tried to get it into Hoffelstrasser at the high elbow, but then she forced to pass to Koffel, jumps the lane and steals. And now she's off to the races. Tries to split 2 defenders, does. Flips it up, missed it. Tipped around, saved by Vermillion. Bremen with another life. And then Vermillion was fouled out high by Taryn Yates, stopping the clock at the 3:38 mark of the first.
It's a big foul, too. That's Yates' second personal.
So that's 2 fouls now on Triton and 1 for Bremen. Jessica Soriano is going to check into the game. Yates now with 2 fouls. So she's going to sit for a little while, and that's not exactly what the doctor had ordered if you were Coach Heckerman. Koffel with the ball, finding Foster. Left wing side, hits Rodriguez. Haley to the top, worked around by Duran to Foster. Foster's going to dribble to the left elbow, kick to the far corner of Rodriguez, can't find her shot, back out to Aaron. Cutting through Foster at the volleyball or free throw line. Jumper up, no good. It goes off Duran's hands. Nope, it went off Triton. And goes out of bounds. So it'll be another inbound here for the Lady Lions. Haley Rodriguez coming off a 19-point performance. And the win for Bremen against Argus. And here's a lead to the right side. Duran. They got away with a walk as that pivot foot slid, it looked like, but no call. Foster couldn't handle a pass in the middle. Stolen by Atkins, and she'll bring it up. Kinsey, who's only a freshman, will dump it off to Soriano. Soriano, the senior, got it to the left side of Atkins. Another three launched. That's off the mark. Koffel comes away with a miss, and here come the Lady Lions on the counter. Koffel to the far corner of Vermillion. She had to reach to save it, and now gets it back to Koffel. Over to Rodriguez. Kick to the near side, Duran. Duran will get it back to the top. Rodriguez skips it over to Koffel. Here's a long three by her. Again, that's off the mark, and that goes out of bounds. And right now, Aaron's just a little frustrated right now.
She's missed both her three-point attempts so far, as well as point-blank shots. So she's 0 for 3 to start the game.
Triton trying to break a press again. Soriano dribbles up the left wing side, lost the ball, able to chase it down to get it back, and then she's triple teamed on the play, and one of the Lady Lions reached in, and that'll be a foul. And that will go against Elia Foster. So 2:25 remaining here in the first. So Ella Foster called for the no-no, and the inbound finds Soriano. Soriano reverses to the near side. Bulis worked to the right corner to Atkins. Back out to Soriano again. Nice pass fake. Got it to the middle. Hostrawser to Atkins. An NBA three, and she nailed it. Holy cow, the freshman went real yard on that one. 6-5, Triton. So Kinsey with another big hit. And so Bremen will go back on offense here.
Gotta love that three-point shot. It can keep you in a game.
Sure can. Darren inside the arc with a long jumper. That's off the glass, no good. Koffel, a big board, keeps it alive for Bremen. Worked around to the top, Rodriguez, left side, Vermillion on a shot fake. Worked to Koffel, baseline drive. Wants to go in strong. Offensive foul called on Aaron Koffel. Coach Robinson settling down the group here a little bit. Clock stops at 1:42 here in the first quarter. So pressure put on by Triton, or I should say Bremen, on the inbound play, and the pass finding Hostrawser, deflected by Koffel, but it goes to the Triton, and they're across the timeline.
Boy, that should have been a 10-second call, Tony, because the foul on Koffel came to the 1:42 mark. They didn't get the ball across till 1:30.
Well, doesn't matter. Triton turns over the ball as Hepler coughs it up, and Bremen will get the ball back here with 1:22 left to go in the first.
It's the fifth turnover for the Lady Trojans here in the opening frame.
Rodriguez will bring it across the timeline. She's looking. Worked it over to Foster. Now to Koffel in the far wing, cutting through Duran. Baseline lead to Vermillion, up strong. Missed it. Rebound battled for. Taken away by Soriano on a deflection. And here comes Triton up court.
Lions look a little tight right now, don't they, Tony?
Just a little. Just a little. Soriano has the basketball. Triton does look a lot more in control of what they're wanting to do. Soriano to the near side of Atkins. And I'd say Atkins, one of the reasons why it's been like that for Triton early in this one. Hepler winds up with it on the right corner. Brings it all the way back out to Soriano again, and the Lady Trojans will reset with 40 seconds left in the first.
I think Coach Heckman would like to play for the last shot here, right?
Yeah. I know I would.
Shorten the game.
You betcha. Soriano with the ball in 30 seconds. Lady Trojans trying to keep the possession into their own until the final seconds to get a shot away. Soriano with it one more time. Reverse to Atkins. To Soriano. Down to 13 seconds. Now it's Hepler to Hostrawser to Soriano. Gets it to the corner. Hepler a three launched. Good! And with 4 seconds left, Hepler hits the corner three. Here's a half-court shot by Koffel. Almost banked in, but stayed out. We have completed one quarter of basketball here from the TCU Daley Cox Gymnasium at the TCU Bi-county Basketball Tournament. 9-5 Triton back with the second quarter on the Girls Championship matchup on Max 98.3.
I put off getting hearing aids longer than At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Aggressive, keep shooting the ball. Eventually the shots are going to fall.
All right, Hepler, speaking of shots, let one go for Triton from the far corner, and we've got a whistle and a foul, reach-in foul on Bremen. As right now, Triton's got the momentum, and the scoreboard shows it, 9-5, 7:52 remaining here in the second. It'll be Soriano to outlet, finding Hostjauser on the catch. It's a release by Atkins. She misses the three. Saved by Soriano, and Hepler there. So the Lady Trojans get another life. And a forced pass just finds Hostjauser. Back to Hepler in the corner. Her three no good. The rebound out of bounds, and that's going to go off of Atkins, who knocked it out of the hands of Ella Foster.
Triton was 3 of 5 in that first quarter, 5 turnovers. All 3 of their field goals were triples. Bremen just 2 of 11 from the field. Hadn't hit a three-pointer yet.
Bremen runs the offense, and it's Duran on the right wing side, worked around by Rodriguez, finding Vermillion. Back to the top, Rodriguez again, over to Foster. Foster to the top, Rodriguez a three, good, and there's her first hit of the night. So that is 7 threes for her in the last 2 Bi-county games. 9-8 Triton. Press put on here by Bremen as they follow the basketball, forcing a bad pass, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Bremen ball. Good hustle by Emma Hepler trying to save it, but unable to catch up to it. Kind of comes up grabbing that left shoulder a little bit, but she's going to be all right. So Koffel will inbound. The Lady Lions will have a chance to take the lead for the first time, actually second time. No, it would be the first time. This is Koffel to the near side. Duran, now Rodriguez, left side Vermillion, to the corner Foster. Couldn't get a three off, so she attacks the baseline. Tried to find Duran, saved by Rodriguez. Showing her daddy's speed back when he played football for Plymouth. Worked around Vermillion, top of the key. Now Rodriguez sets for three. It's another good one. Rodriguez getting hot from outside. Lady Lions lead at 11-9. Press put on by the girls in green, and now it's taken by Triton across the timeline. Hostjauser, good baseline feed, but Atkins wasn't there at her spot. She had to go chasing, and now the whistle sounds, and a jump ball gets called here. Possession arrow will go back to Bremen. Hewless will check back into the game as Hostjauser now will come out. The Lady Lions leading 11-9. Rodriguez will dribble it up across the timeline for Bremen. Work its way over to Foster. Ella now back to Rodriguez, reverse it back to Foster. Down low to Koffel, back to the corner. Duran a three, got too much underneath that one and airmailed it. It's taken away by Triton as it's brought up by Bulis, or make that Hepler.
Little surprised Bremen didn't look for Rodriguez on that offensive set as Haley had buried 2 triples to start this second quarter.
Well, they think about it, it'll have to be after they make a defensive stop here. Triton right now being patient with the offense. You know, the other thing that I like what Coach Heckerman has done as far as game plan is concerned, he's limiting the amount of touches Bremen can get. Keeping the play right around the perimeter until they can get that open shot.
Still think Triton's going to have to get something from their interior players if they're going to win this game tonight.
Here's Hostjauser to the top. Hepler will get it to the right side now. Once again, Soriano. Jess works it back to the top again. Hepler finding Bulis to the near corner. Atkins for a three. No good. And the rebound taken by Koffel. And she's off to the races. Koffel dumps it ahead to Foster. Layup. Oh, she missed it. Rebound Duran got blocked, and Soriano comes away with it. So
I think Foster's layup was partially blocked too, so
may have been.
Good defense by Triton.
Looked like an odd shot. Atkins to Soriano. Soriano looking toward the right side, nothing there. Burst it over to Bulis near wing, and now into the corner. Atkins back to Bulis. Dribbles to the top of the key, able to find Hepler again. Back to Bulis, over to Atkins, still outside the arc with the passing.
See too much perimeter offense here, Tony.
Well, I think a lot of it's they're trying to set it up.
Right.
Notice what they're doing is that they're keeping the play on the perimeter until they can get the quick pass in the perimeter that sets an open corner shot, and there's a timeout by Adam Heckerman. He doesn't like the feel of that particular possession, so he's going to call a timeout here. 4:23 left to go here in the second quarter. Bremen leading 11-9. We're back with more Girls Championship.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you're interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
Bi-county basketball tournament, 11-9 the score. Evan, what was in the Triton huddle?
Tony, Coach Heckerman during that timeout just told his girls to continue to stay patient on offense. They don't have to force any shots up. Make sure they're moving the ball and get the best shot they can.
All right, play back underway. A baseline drive for Hepler denied. Good block there by Moyer, who just came into the game. Now led to Vermillion on the left wing side. Now to Foster. Ella gets it over to Rodriguez. To the corner, it's Aaron Koffel's turn. Aaron back up top to Rodriguez, finding Vermillion. Bailey looking at the clock, finds Foster in the corner. Ella trying to find a three shot, just not available at this point. This is Rodriguez with it again. Now to Ella. They leave her open that time, but Ella didn't get it off. But Koffel will, and her three hits the front of the rim. Rebound taken by Moyer, but then lost it right into the midst of Soriano, and Triton will push it up. Hepler with the ball. Back up top to Soriano. Soriano still with it. Will now work it to the right wing side of Bulis. Bulis looking, still looking, and back to the top one more time. It's going to be Soriano. Soriano still looking, reverses over to the right side. Now it's into Hostauser, one-step move, travels. So a turnover by Triton at the 3:19 mark of the second, makes it 11-9. Bremen with the lead, and a timeout is going to be called here by Bremen. We'll take a 30-second break. Come back here to the friendly confines of the Dale Lee Cox Gymnasium. It's the Girls Championship of the 55th Annual TCU Bi-county Basketball Tournament on Max 98.3 Sports.
Why take on loads of student loan debt when I can go to Ancilla College? They are the least expensive private college in Indiana. They've built a 100-bed residence hall, expanded 18 job-ready associate degree programs, and they have athletic teams I can join. I can choose from nursing, criminal justice, agriculture.
Welcome back here to the Dale Lee Cox Gymnasium. Doug Griffith, Tony Ross, 11-9. Bremen with the lead. 3:15 and counting to go here in the second. Bremen ball. Elliot Foster with it. We'll go to the far corner of Vermillion. Back to the top one more time, and to handle it, it's Foster. Now giving it to the left wing side. Vermillion one more time. Reversed it to the left side, finding Foster. Now to the top. A good pass fake there by Rodriguez. Got it over to the corner with some help. Foster got herself in a little jam, but was able to outlet. Now Koffel hops into the lane, throws it up, and draws the foul. This will be a two-shot foul at the 2:48 mark of the second quarter. That foul will go against Triton's number 20, Jalen Bulis, the junior. Koffel to the free throw line as Aaron's going to knock down that freebie. She comes in right at 72% from the charity stripe. That's her 100th make at the line. Here's 101, no, it stayed out. Tipped her low to Moyer, and she couldn't grab it. Triton will. They'll push it up.
That's Koffel's only point of the night so far.
Yep. Atkins worked it to the right wing. Bulis in trouble, dribbled out of the corner with it. Now able to outlet, finding Atkins. Atkins now to Soriano. Jess directs, gets to Hostrauser in the corner, almost stripped away by Foster. It rolls to Soriano. Soriano keeps the ball, guarded by Rodriguez. There's a pair of speed demons right there going one-on-one. Worked over to Bulis again, who pulls it outside the back volleyball line. Needs some help. And finally, the lob's over to Hostrauser, left angle high. Hostrauser to Soriano. Back out to Hostrauser again. Can't go inside. And again, Triton doing well and keeping the ball on the perimeter. May not be looking the smoothest in doing so, but they are minimizing the touches and killing clock. And Vermillion tried to go for a steal, and the Lady Lion guard called for the foul.
That's going to be her second personal.
Clock stops at 1:48, and coming back in for the Lady Lions will be Didi Duran. So Vermillion will have to grab a breather. Triton will outlet, and it's going to be brought up and taken by Atkins. Atkins to Bulis on the right wing side. Into the corner, Hostrauser. She'll lob it out. Grabbed there by Atkins. Her pass deflected. Then it's saved by Soriano. Soriano tries to dart in, can't. Worked back into the Atkins hands. And one more time, Bulis. Nice skip finding Soriano. She attacks the left side. Bank shot no good. Popped around and regained by Triton. To Hostrauser on the right side. Bulis had fallen on the court. And Jimmy Arnett, the official, called time out here, called time to see if Bulis was okay. It'll stay Triton possession.
You know, Tony, I got to say, I'm a little surprised that Bremen's not trapping everything. They're extending their defense, but I would really put as much pressure as humanly possible on these Triton guards.
Here's the lob to Hostrauser from the free throw line. Was able to get the roll. So that jumper is good, and Triton now within one. 12-11 your score. Bremen on top and the basketball with 1 minute to go in the first half.
It was Abby Veers, actually, Tony. Was
that Veers who hit that? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Foster to the right side to Koffel. On the right block, able to pass it out to Rodriguez. Now to Moyer, into Duran. Now to free throw line. Foster, jumper up, no good. Loose ball. Out of bounds, last touched by Triton. So the Lady Lions will keep possession. Rodriguez will look to inbound, right to the basket. And it's going to be taken by Moyer. Now to Foster, 48 seconds. Into Koffel in the paint, kicked it back out during a long jumper. It's off the mark with 44 seconds left. Bulis grabs the board. Triton with a chance to take the lead on this possession.
Again, Lady Trojans look for them to take the last shot. I think that's what Coach Heckman would want.
Now worked around, and Soriano with it. Soriano picks up her dribble, now gets it to the middle. Hostrauser, bad pass, stolen by Foster. Bremen's got 22 seconds to get up court and get a shot off. Rodriguez across the timeline, looking left, looking to the middle, now looking at the clock with 13 ticks. Rodriguez into the paint, Duran back out to Koffel, 9. Koffel with a new play, 7. To Rodriguez, 5. Down low to Duran in trouble, traveled. So the Lady Lions cough it up with 3.7 seconds left. So let's see if Triton's got something in their book of tricks to get a shot away. They got to go the link to the court. Atkins takes it up the right side. A half-court shot is going to be way short. Well, but a great effort by Veers on a catch and shoot, but it goes awry. And that's how the first half comes to an end in our girls' championship game. Evan Mangus is with Adam Heckerman, head coach of Triton. Evan?
Thanks, Tony. Coach, 9 turnovers in that first half, but you still find yourselves in a one-point game right here. What's going to be the key to the second half?
Same thing. Don't turn it over and play defense. I'll take a one-point game. If it's a one-point game when it comes down to the end, it's just going to matter who makes the last play. So we'll take that. If we can keep it that close and keep going, we're happy with that.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks. Back to you, Tony.
All right, that's Adam Eckerman, the head coach of the Triton Lady Trojans. His team down 12-11 here at halftime. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show presented by Oliver Ford, and we'll get to it after this timeout.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school?
I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
Hey, this is Mia Mears, your reporter of LaVille FFA. The national organization is dedicated to making a positive difference in the lives of students by developing the potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. In FFA, you get hands-on experience in the trades and get to be a part of the community. You should join LaVille FFA. Bye, Lancers!
If you don't make the turn around, you're going to end up like you always been down. So watch out, baby, you're going to turn up missing.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We wanted to figure out a way to limit some touches in order to, try to slow down this Bremen offense. And while he's been able to do that, the transition game hasn't exactly been, one of the bright spots for the Lady Lions, and simply because they haven't been able to do an awful lot of it.
Yeah, he's been able to, Triton gets an A+ in terms of dictating the tempo, because they certainly have shortened this game, and now a four-quarter game has become a one-half game, and like Coach Heckman told Evan on the sidelines, you could just tell in his voice how thrilled he is. It's a one-point game. Sure, his team trails, but, again, not only have they dictated the tempo and been able to melt a lot of precious seconds off this clock, but, you've got Erin Koffel, who's struggling from the field. She didn't even hit a shot from the floor the entire half. She has just 1 point, the one being, of course, a free throw, going 1-2 at the line, and I think so far for Triton, the game plan has worked to perfection. Maybe the only negative has been the Lady Trojans have turned it over 8 times. But with that said, now with that being said, Bremen has scored 8 points off of those turnovers. But I can't even count, maybe one occasion they scored in transition. So. Again, I think it's got to be an upbeat locker room right now for the Lady Trojans, and I just thought Bremen was a little tight, Tony, throughout most of that first half. They got a lot of good looks. Ball wasn't falling, and maybe it's just one of those games where shots aren't falling, and we're in for another, one-possession game in a Bi-county championship.
All right, buddy, let's look at some numbers, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, again, points have been a premium, but Bremen's 12 points have come 6 points from Haley Rodriguez on 2 triples in the second quarter, field goal each by Dee Duran and Foster, and then the 1 point Bailey Vermillion was 1 of 2 from the foul line, as was Erin Koffel. So that's Bremen's 12 points. You look at Triton's 11 points. Half a dozen of those have come from Kenzie Atkins on 2 first-quarter triples. And also hitting from long range in the first quarter was Emma Hepler. She has 3 points. And then Abby Veers scored the only points of the second quarter for the Lady Trojans, who trail 12-11 to the defending champions on the girls' side, Bremen, here in the Bi-county Championship. you look at, shooting, as you can imagine, no one's tearing it up from the field. The Triton Trojans just 4 of 12 for the game for 33%. Bremen's really struggled. They're shooting just 21% from the floor, 4 of 19. They're 2 of 7 from three-point range. That's a little over 28%. And like we said, they're 2 for 4 from the foul line. Triton has yet to attempt a free throw. Another statistic that jumps out at you, Tony, here at the break is the rebounding department, where Triton has a 1 rebound advantage, 13-12. But on the offensive side, offensive glass, Bremen's leading that 7-3. So again, I'm sure Coach Heckman will address that with his team. Girls, we got to limit the second chance opportunities. But with that said, Bremen has yet to score a second chance point. So even though they've been dominating the offensive glass, they haven't taken advantage of it in terms of points. So again, this I think is exactly the recipe that our game plan Coach Heckman ordered for his Triton Trojans, and it'll be an interesting half. I think a very important start here to the third quarter. And I not only said I was surprised that Bremen, who did extend their defensive pressure in the first half, but I thought they'd go three-quarter, full court.
All right, Evan Mangus has got Coach Robinson with us. Evan?
Thanks, Tony. Coach, only 3 turnovers, but some of the shots just weren't falling in that first half. What's going to happen in the second half to kind of get those shots to fall on offense?
Yeah, I thought we're really stagnant on the offensive end. We're just standing in spots, and that's exactly what they want us to do. So if we get the ball moving, we get ourselves moving into different positions, we'll find some different looks, and shots will start falling if we get some rhythm into our offense.
Up 1 right now, coming into the second half. What's going to be the key for the second half?
Yeah, I think we need to turn up the pressure, turn up the pace of the game a little bit. Right now, we're clearly playing their game, and we need to turn this around and start playing our game and get this thing going up and down a little bit more.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you, Tony.
All right, Evan, there you go. 12-11, that's our score. Bremen with the lead. Back with the second half after this 1-minute timeout. Evan, are you hearing me okay? Talking to the mic, son. You hearing me? Okay.
I hit something and it went to the wrong channel or something.
Okay.
Your voice. Don't text and drive. This message brought to you by Burt's Body Shop in Plymouth. We deal with these accidents every day. So for your safety, please don't text and drive. Where Portside Marina handles all water recreational needs when it comes to pontoons.
Hey, Bark, I know you're listening. Trying to. This is about the best I can get with my volume on mine. Okay. Otherwise, I'm blowing my eardrums out.
Or call them at 842-5000 for Portside Marina.
All right, we're ready to get the second half started here at the 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament. Again, Tony Ross, along with Doug Griffith and Evan Mangus, AJ Bodine at our Max 98.3 studios as we are getting set for the start of the second half. Our halftime show brought to you by our good friends at Oliver Ford. All right, it's the start of the third quarter, and Triton will have the basketball here. They'll run the offense. And it's going to be taken along that right side by Bulis. Now working to Yates to the corner. Here's Hostjauser with a jumper, no good. Long rebound comes out to Atkins. Atkins will have control, worked around over to Bulis. Bulis will now work it over to the near side. Atkins again. Has it near the timeline. To the middle, Hostjauser back to Bulis. Underneath the Hostjauser, she turns and fires and banks it in. So Triton regains the lead at 13-12. Koffel with the ball, finding Vermillion. Rodriguez gets it into Foster's hands. Now handled by Vermillion to the right side. Koffel attacks, stopped at the elbow, got it out to Foster. A 3-ball launched by her off the mark. The rebound battled for by Koffel, and the whistle sounds and a jump ball gets called. Oh, they're going to call a travel. So Jimmy Arnett calls a travel on that one.
Coach Robinson not happy, to say the least, on that call.
Press put on here by Bremen as Triton will have control. This is Yates to the middle, intercepted by Ella Foster, and Ella legs it ahead to Vermillion, goes baseline with a drive, finds her cutter Koffel, and she puts it up and draws the foul. I'll tell you, one of the better attributes of this Bremen team is that they create their offense with their defense, and we saw it just there on that particular play. Koffel will go to the free throw line because of the effort. 13-12, Triton with the lead. Free throw is up, and that's good by Koffel. We mentioned Aaron's free throw shooting numbers right at 72% coming into tonight's play. Second free throw is up, and that is going to be good. Bremen this year from the line, they're getting to the line about 15 times per game, hitting 10 of them. So that number's got to get up for them a little bit more. They only got to the line 4 times in that first half. Yates with the basketball in the front court, splits one defender but not the third as Rodriguez came over for the help and she was fouled. Clock stops at the 6:22 mark of quarter 3. Abby Veers gets called for her first foul. 14-13, Bremen with the advantage. Koffel has the basketball. Dumps it off to the near side of Vermillion. Back up top to Rodriguez again. Haley, one hops it over to Ella. And she'll get it to the near corner. They left Rodriguez open for 3. Short-armed it. Rebound Foster from the weak side. Got too far deep at the baseline. Kicked it out Rodriguez. Finding Koffel. Stepping in. Back out to the corner Rodriguez. She'll dribble out. Finding Vermillion over to the far side Duran. Duran will travel. Or nope, she got fouled out high. Hostjauser had a guilty grin on her face. The slap was called, and that no-no stops the clock at the 5:52 mark of the third.
It's already the third personal on Triton. We're just barely 2 minutes into the second half.
So here we go with the inbound play. Koffel saves it from going over and back, but her pass ends up intercepted. Triton goes on the counter. Atkins to Yates. Yates drives, travels on her way to the bucket. So both teams coughing up the rock here. And the clock stops at 5:36 here in this third.
Third turnover for Triton already this quarter.
Rodriguez with the basketball. Hops it over to the near side of Foster. She'll dribble to the middle, get bumped. Stays on the perimeter to Vermillion. Vermillion back to Rodriguez. Now to Koffel. Sets for 3 from the corner. Off the rim, no good. Foster let Duran take the board. Gets it back to Ella in the corner. Zipped it back out to Rodriguez. Koffel darted in, brings it out. Rodriguez to Foster. Ella a 3. That's no good. Tipped by Duran, out of bounds off her. So it'll stay Triton possession. Clock stops at the 5:07 mark of the third. So here we go on the counter. Back the other way, and here's Atkins trying to move in, and she ends up traveling.
Bremen started this half, Tony, missing all 4 of their shots from the floor. Their only 2 points have come on Aaron Koffel's 2 free throws. But Triton not taking advantage of that. They've turned the ball over now 4 times. Barely played 3 minutes in the third quarter.
Duran with a pass looking for Rodriguez, who was cutting to the near side, and no one was there at the spot Duran threw at. So a turnover by the Lady Lions.
Very uncharacteristic of the Lady Lions. That's what I mean.
So.
They just don't look like they're in sync, and sometimes that happens when the shots are not falling for you.
Triton with the ball, running the offense. Yates has it, zips it over, and Yates will have it, or make that Bulis. Now to Atkins to Bulis. So go to the corner for Hostjauser, and the ball gets deflected off Hostjauser, who tried to save it. So Triton will turn it over back to Bremen, who has the 1-point advantage of 14-13 on the Reese Hearing Aid Center scoreboard. Duran with the ball to the near side. Vermillion, a 3 ball is launched, and that's no good. Foster grabs it back for Bremen. Got it to the corner to Koffel. Skips it over to Vermillion. To the corner, Rodriguez. Back to the top, Foster. 3 fired by Foster. That's no good. Rebound, battled and grabbed by Koffel again. Escapes, turns, fires, scores, and draws the foul. Aaron Koffel with the no-quit bucket. And the Lady Lions up 3, 16-13. So Hostrouser called for the foul. That is her second. Emma Hepler actually is checking into the game as Bulis will check out for Triton. Koffel at the free throw line, good. So now it's a 17-13 Bremen advantage, and Coach Heckerman at Triton wants to call a timeout, talk things over with his girls. We'll come back and find out what was said in that huddle with Evan Mangus when we return to the 55th annual.
Hey Lancers, are you looking to work for a big corporation, own your own business, take stats for a professional sports team, or handle money? Well, I'm here to tell you about DECA. I'm Trinity Cox, and I'm the Vice President of Hospitality and Tourism for our school's DECA chapter. I've been a part of DECA for 2 years now, and I've had the time of my life here. I've competed at both district and state level last year, and look to go back again this year. You have the chance to compete as a solo event or be a part of a team decision-making event. DECA has really opened up my eyes to a different aspect of business and has helped me grow as a human being. DECA will help you grow into a young, mature adult if you join, just like it has helped me. You will have the chance to make tons of new friends as we are a growing chapter and look to continue to grow for the future. If you are a sophomore through a senior and would like to join DECA, come talk to the chapter advisor, Mr. Thomas, today and start your journey.
Priority each and every day. At Denham Automotive, visit denmarautomotive.com for details. Triton will inbound. They got the length of the court to go to. Left to right on your radio dial. Yates lobs it over to Hepler. Hepler pushed it. It's intercepted by Foster, but she couldn't handle it. It went out of bounds off her effort.
Triton has attempted just 2 shots from the floor, and that's because they've turned the ball over 5 times. Meanwhile, Bremen's 1 of 7 from the floor.
Pressure put on by Bremen again. We'll go to Evan Mangus in just a moment, and a kick by Rodriguez stops the clock. It'll stay Triton ball. Evan, what was Coach Heckerman talk about during the timeout?
Well, Tony, Coach Heckerman was telling his girls they've got to find a way to stay calm and composed when Bremen puts his press on and make sure they're making smart passes.
All right, play back on their way. Triton's got to break the presser here. As Bremen doubling on the ball, Yates now outlets Hostrouser in the front court. Finds the trailer, that's Hepler. Bounce pass far side, Atkins a 3, good! So Kinsey Atkins hits the 3 ball from the corner, and the Lady Trojans down 1, 17-16. Koffel, the top of the key to find Foster. Ella gets to the elbow, kicked it out to Koffel in the wing. Skipped it over to Rodriguez, now to the top, Foster again. Foster to Rodriguez. Rodriguez darting through the middle. Duran can't find her shot. Back out to Rodriguez, who zips it over to Vermillion. Still on the perimeter. Koffel out of the corner. Thought about shooting, did not. And able to get it into Foster's hands. Ella to Aaron. A 3 launched by her. That's off the mark. Rebound. Duran got it back. Then a beautiful move, up and under move. Still couldn't finish. The rebound battled for, and it looks like a foul will be called against Duran. Duran was the one that went down on the play. Clock stops at the 2:53 mark here in this third quarter. Checking into the game now for the Lady Trojans will be Alexa Veers, and it'll be Abby coming out. Yates grabs the inbound. Triton's got to go the length to the court. Alexa, nice outlet, finding Atkins. Triton breaks the press. And now we got a whistle and an over and back call against Triton. Jimmy Arnett makes the call there. Not sure about that one.
I'm not either. We're right at midcourt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, either way, Bremen ball up by 1, 2:40 and counting to go into third. Rodriguez able to find Duran. Right side, nice shot, fake move. Foster dumped it to Koffel, goes left baseline for the shot, draws the foul. So Koffel will go to the free throw line. Stopping play at 2:29. Taryn Yates gets called for the no-no. That is 3 on her now for the Lady Trojan. Koffel back at the free throw line, and she's going to hit. He's been pretty solid from the free throw line in tonight's contest.
She's hit all 4 of her free throws this quarter.
Make it 5. So she knocks both down. Lady Lions still up 3. Full court press put on by Bremen one more time. And Triton trying to get out of their own end. Hepler gives it to Yates. Yates back to Hepler. Hepler across the middle finding Hostjauser. Led it ahead left side to Atkins. Hits her trail. That's Hostjauser, and she keeps it on the perimeter, giving it back to Atkins. Down to the right side, Yates. I'll tell you what, Triton has gotten a lot better in handling their ball, the ball as this season's gone on, and that was a classic example because Bremen did everything right in that full court press. Triton just was the better of breaking it. Down low to Hostjauser, turning, firing, finish, and the rebound taken away by Koffel.
Got a good look, just didn't roll in.
Aaron, top to the elbow, that's it. Now to Rodriguez. Here comes a 3 ball by her. Good! Rodriguez, 22-16 Bremen. Yates handles an inbounds pass, got it back over to Hepler, who then hits the far side of Atkins. Dribbles up the left sideline, got by 1 defender, 2 defenders for the layup, and couldn't finish. And the rebound taken by the Lady Lions. On the counter, this is Koffel. 1 against 3, shoots, draws an offensive foul, and taking one for the team there was Hepler.
Not sure about that call either, Tony.
Coach Robinson pleading his case on behalf of Aaron Koffel, who just picked up her 2nd foul. Timeout's going to be called here by Bremen, and Coach Robinson's using the majority of it to talk to the officials. So with this timeout, we'll take one along with them. Your score, 22-16, Bremen with the lead in this girls' championship game, and we got it continuing after this timeout.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
In our girls championship game, which is in the 3rd quarter, 22-16, Bremen has the lead and haven't had a chance to attend that timeout over on the Bremen side. What was the message from Coach Robinson?
Tony, during that timeout, Coach Robinson told his girls they've got to make sure they know where Kinsey Atkins is. She's had 9 of their 16 points so far, and all have come from 3, so they got to shut her down.
3 games this season, Triton never hit a 3 or even attempted a 3. And here they are doing well here tonight. Here's a transition opportunity for Veers, who blew it. The rebound off of Atkins, and we got a whistle and a reach-in foul called against on Koffel. Wow. Indeed, they called that on Aaron. So that is 3 now on Aaron Koffel with 1:09 left of the 3rd, and Duran's going to have to come in for her. So that's a break for Triton as they get the inbound right to the basket as Atkins looking and caught by Taryn Yates over to the corner. Hepler with it. Emma got it down low to the post to Veers. Up strong she goes, got blocked by Duran, and they call a jump ball with Duran getting her hand in on the play. Possession goes to Bremen. But out of action. This will be Rodriguez, able to find Foster. Back to Rodriguez as Bremen in the half-court set. Vermillion left angle high, finding Foster again, looks for a new play call. Coach Robinson offers, and now it's to the far corner in Rodriguez's hands. Back to Ella. She wants to dart in, lowered her shoulder. They're going to call a blocking foul on that particular play against Taryn Yates.
That's going to be her 4th personal.
So that is a big foul on Yates. And that's going to bring in Jessica Serrano to replace Yates. So Bremen will have an inbound right to the basket this time. They're leading 22-16. The lob in underneath to Foster. Nice catch and shoot. Goes up strong. Draws the foul from behind. And that foul goes against Triton's number 24, Abby Veers. So Veers called with the no-no, and Elia Foster goes to the free throw line. Foster averaging 11 points a game, misses that free throw. She's a 80% shooter from the line. Came into tonight 43 of 54, but misses the front end here with 40 seconds left, and the next free throw no good either. Rebound comes to Hepler. Hepler will pull it out and now bring it up. Hepler looking at a 2-3 zone, got it out into the inside to Veers, who got it back out to Serrano, and now it's one more time to Hepler. Hepler to Jessica again. Soriano with the ball. Jessica looking at what she's got to handle here. She's one of 3 seniors on this roster for Coach Heckman. Soriano to the near side. Hepler now popping out Veers into the corner. Hepler a 3. Off the rim, no good. And a rebound tipped by Foster. Deflected to Vermillion. Looks up court, can't get the shot away in time. And we have completed 3 quarters of basketball here from the Dale Lee Cox Gymnasium. Bremen 22, Triton 16. More of our girls championship game of the 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament continues after this 30-second timeout.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Doug Griffith, Evan Magnus, Tony Ross back here at the Dale Lee Cox Gymnasium, where our game of the week is the 55th annual TCU Bi-county Girls Championship game. Right now, Bremen has a 22-16 lead over the Triton Lady Trojans. Our game brought to you in part by Miller's Assisted Living in Plymouth. Since 1969, Miller's Senior Assisted Living has proudly been committed to caring for those in a time of need in this community. Whatever you decide, we're here to help. Check us out at 625 Oak Hill Avenue in Plymouth. All right, Evan, you're over in the Triton sideline. What did Coach Heckman have to say?
Tony, Coach Heckman told his girls there's no need to stress right now. This is about the same situation they had against Glenn in the semifinals, so if they can just find a way to take care of the ball and execute offensively, they'll be good to go.
All right, Soriano with the ball in her hand, finding Bulis. Right back to Soriano. Soriano will fake left, go right back to Bulis on the reverse. Now to the middle, Veers. Abby stopped at the elbow. Bad pass stolen by Foster, who read it like a book. Ella the other way will kick it to the wing. Nope, she tried to find it underneath and then lost the ball. Going after it, Moyer. Triton steals. Nice play by Veers, outletting to Atkins. On the run, slowed down once she got to the arc. Spins away from her girl. Now fires a 3, and that's no good. And the rebound battled for, taken by Foster. Down she goes. They battle for it on the ground. Whistle sounds, and possession arrow will go to Triton as it went out of bounds off a Bremen player.
That third quarter, Tony, was the Erin Koffel quarter for Bremen. She scored 7 of the team's 10 points, but again, she left late in that quarter with 3 personal fouls, still on the bench. So we'll see if Triton can get into this 6-point deficit.
Atkins with the basketball near the timeline, and she'll dump it off to Soriano for the Triton Lady Trojans. Back to Atkins, finding Soriano again. Now to the middle, Veers fumbled the ball, got it underneath the Hosthauser for 2. Boy, that had to be a clean, crisp pass to work, and it did. And it was 22-18. Bremen still with the lead. Triton gets back on defense, showing his own.
It was Haustrauser's first 2 points of the night.
At the top of the key, it's Foster. Ella, she's been kind of held quiet in this game. Coughs up the basketball, got it back, able to outlet to Moyer, and a push by Soriano stops the clock right at the 6:34 mark. Good sportsmanship by Jess, helping up Ella after the knockdown. More of a trip up than anything. Erin Koffel is going to come back in with her 3 fouls as Moyer put in some good minutes tonight for Coach Robinson. Katie, a 5'9" freshman. So she'll grab a breather as Foster's back to the free throw line for the Lady Lions. And the free throw's up and good. 23-18 now the score. Another free throw coming. It's up and that is good. So it's 24-18. Bremen with the lead. And here's a bad pass that Vermillion tried to steal, but ran out of real estate. So here we go with the inbound play. Atkins has it in the near corner. Goes baseline to Bulis. Try to break the full court press. And the pass connects to Hostrauser. Now to Soriano. Up ahead to Veer. Shoots. And she couldn't finish. The rebound taken by Duran. And she stepped out of bounds. 24-18. Bremen with the lead here in the fourth quarter of our TCU Girls Basketball Championship of the Bi-County. Inbound Soriano, grabbed by Hostrauser. Needs to find some help. Got a baseline kick to Veers against a double team. Then her pass intercepted. Great read by Vermillion. She's off to the races. Atkins is going to stop her as she bumped her on the way to the bucket. So that'll stop the clock at a 6-11. That is 9 team fouls on Triton. So Bremen shooting free throws the rest of this game. Vermillion will go to the free throw line. Abby Veers is going to check out of the game here, and Alexa will replace her. Vermillion at the free throw line is going to knock it down. We said Bailey back in the first quarter, not a bad free throw shooter, but she'll be the first to tell you she could be better, right at 50% coming into tonight. Bremen as a team, a 65% free throw shooting squad. This next free throw, in and out. The rebound taken by Hostrauser. Triton will look to get it up. Hostrauser needs the outlet. Able to find Atkins finally. She splits 2 defenders. Then her pass stolen by Erin Koffel at midcourt. Koffel going in strong, and we're going to have a whistle here, and we're going to say a travel called on Koffel. I'll tell you what, though, that was such a 50-50 play. I was waiting for the officials to call an offensive foul.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact. Let that go. Instead called the travel on Koffel. This is the largest lead of the game, by the way, for Bremen, 25-18 with just under 6 minutes to play.
Here we go at the inlet, and it's going to be taken by Taryn Yates. Yates by 2 defenders, but the third one got her, but a reach in by Koffel at midcourt just picked up her 4th.
Boy, I don't know, Tony. I didn't see that, but.
Well, I look across the way at some of the Triton fans, and a couple of them are smirking and a couple of them are shaking their heads. And you got the opponent's fans that are going, Triton will have the basketball, but that same could be said for them. I'm sure they would tell you. Yates with the basketball, now to Atkins. Triton trailing 25-18. Time becoming a little bit of a factor here with 5:38 left in the game.
Well, here's their chance. You got Koffel on the bench.
There's a loose ball on the ground, and Duran gets knocked down from behind. And that Triton foul, I think, is going to go against Alexa Veers, and that's exactly what the whistle is. So Veers called for the foul. That's 10 team fouls now for Triton, as Bremen will be shooting 2 for the rest of this game. Free throw shooting for the Lady Lions this season. This team is 9-3 as the free throw is going to roll out. The team is 9-3 when they make 10+ free throws in the ball game. That means they have to get to at least to the line 17 times in order to get those 10 opportunities. And that free throw's no good.
Well, they've made 10 tonight, exactly.
And they're up 25-18. So off the misses, though, Triton up the court already. On the right side, Hepler. Hepler gets it back out, handling Atkins, finding Yates. Taryn, down to Atkins, back to Taryn. She too playing in foul trouble, and now here's a lead down low to Veers. Can't find the shot. The rebound deflects out of bounds off Bremen. Well, Abby Veers is going to check back into the game, and I think Alexa Veers will be the one coming out. And that'll be the case. Inbound, left of the basket for Atkins and Triton. Atkins needs to find somebody, and they can't beat the 5-second count. Bremen holds defensively, and so now they'll get the ball back on possession. Vermillion able to give it to Haley Rodriguez.
It's 11 turnovers this half, Tony. The Triton Trojans, just too many if you want to knock off the defending champions.
Moyer to Rodriguez to the far corner, Duran. D&D with a pass fake, hitting Foster, now to the middle, Moyer, now to the corner, Duran, back out to Foster. Ella to Rodriguez to Vermillion. Back to the top, Rodriguez to Foster again. Foster to the paint, Vermillion to Duran, back out to Moyer, down to Foster for three. That's an air ball, and that goes into the Triton stands. Well, Ella's kind of struggled from the floor tonight as well. But yet, here's Bremen with a 25-18 lead and 4.5 minutes left to go in this game.
And how about this? Foster has 1 field goal. Didi Duran has 1 field goal. Vermillion has no field goals. Hoffel has 1 field goal.
All starters.
Haley Rodriguez has 3 3-pointers. Those are the only 3 3-pointers for Bremen in the game. Yet, like you said, Tony, they're up 7 points. So Triton, again, the tempo of the game's been in Triton's favor. They've gotten exactly what they had hoped for, an off-shooting night from Bremen. But they got to make some hay here.
Backdoor to Yates, and there's a little bit of that hay. She scores on the layup, and it's a 5-point difference, 25-20 now. Bremen back on the offense. This will be Vermillion with it. To the right side, trying to dribble in is Foster, back out to Duran, reversing it over to Vermillion, left angle. Worked by Rodriguez. Now to the near side to Foster. Ella puts it down, spins, and then back out to Rodriguez again. Over to Vermillion. Vermillion to the top to Duran. Down to 3:28 to go in the game. Duran is going to circle to the elbow, kick it out to Vermillion. Vermillion dribbled left. That's as far as she goes. Now she's in trouble. Whistle sounds, and Alex Robinson wants a timeout. So this is the Lions timeout at the 3:20 mark here in the fourth. 25-20. Bremen with the lead. It's the girls Bi-county Championship game presented by TCU on Max 98.3 and LVH1 video stream.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to the Daily Cox Gymnasium. We'll have the boys championship game between John Glenn and New Prairie, and that's going to be a dandy coming up after the conclusion of this one. Before we go any further, I want to send best wishes to Aaron Kaufel's mom, Missy, going through a little bit of a health issue, but the prognosis is great for the future, and we wish her the best of luck here in her journey. And the Kaufel family, a very staple in the Bremen community, so we wish her the best of luck and Godspeed. All right, play on their way, and Bremen will have the ball with 3:15 and counting left to go in the game. 25-20, Lady Lions. Rodriguez with the ball, finding Vermillion. Looks like the Lady Lions are willing to play keep away for a little bit, because now time becoming a factor against Triton, so they're going to have to be a little more aggressive at some point.
If I was Triton, I'd foul Didi Duran. Right now, Bremen's 3 of 6.
Backdoor into Moyer. Great feed by Foster, and it's 27-20 Bremen. Yates tries to break the press, finds Hostrauser, leading it to Soriano on the left side. In the front court of Triton, and Hepler gives the ball back to Jessica. Now Taryn Yates with a touch, back to Soriano, finding Hepler, back to Soriano again. Soriano over to Yates. Yates dribbling in, got to the elbow, inside to Veers, double team, kicked it out. Hepler drives left baseline, Duran left her feet. She's called for the Bremen foul. So there you go, Doug. That's 2 fouls on her, I believe.
3.
3. Yeah. So 3 on Duran. Kaufel will check in a moment. So will Atkins. Both smile at one another for jumping the gun. Hepler, in the meantime, is going to have some free throws here.
These are the first free throws of the night for Triton.
First one up, and it's good. You know, we forgot to really even mention this is kind of a barnyard brawl here with Triton and Bremen. They're just up 3-31 from one another, and a lot of these kids know each other. Beauty of this Bi-county. Here's Hepler's free throw, good. So that gets the Lady Trojans now within 5 again, 27-22.
Now again, I would foul Dee Duran because Bremen's just going to take time off the clock if they don't get fouled.
Atkins gets a steal on a bad pass. And then Vermillion steps in the passing lane and kicks it into the stands.
Of course, I didn't know Bremen would turn the ball over there. I thought they'd try to take some time off the clock.
Here's the inbound. Triton needs to break the press. They got to go the full court to do it. Down to 2:08 and counting to go in the fourth. Hepler to Veers. And off of Hostjauser, stolen by Foster. Bremen the other way. Costly turnover by the Lady Trojans there.
That's a dozen for the half.
Here's Foster finding Duran. Down low to Koffel. Cutting through Duran, and she'll score. Now the Lady Lions opening up that lead to 7, 29-22. Press put on again by Bremen. Broken by Atkins, who lost it off her foot up the left sideline. Another turnover by Triton, and a timeout is going to be called by Coach Heckerman and the Lady Trojans. We'll take a timeout with them. 29-22, Bremen with the lead. It's the girls' championship game of the TCU Bi-county basketball tournament, which continues after this timeout.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
Well, we'll have all kinds of festivities in between the games, and including we'll get a chance to talk with Randy Lepler of TCU, representing TCU here tonight. We still got 1:38 left to go in our girls' championship game, and again, right now, it's Bremen up 29-22. As we talked about, the Lady Lions, they are looking for their 14th Bi-county title since the inception in 1977. Bremen's made 19 appearances if you don't include tonight. They won the Bi-county last year 68-40 over Oregon Davis, and a deflection out high by Abby Veers of Triton goes out of bounds. The previous championship trip was back in 2007 against Glenn when Bremen lost at 39-23.
7-point lead isn't insurmountable, but boy, in this game where points are a premium, it seems like about a 30-point lead, doesn't it, Tony?
Well, when you're turning over the ball, too. Koffel bullets one to Vermillion, doesn't shoot it, and she gets fouled. That'll stop the clock at 1:12. And at this juncture, if you're Coach Heckerman, you got to try to stop that clock as often as you can. But I tell you, another thing that could be beneficial for Triton is having a set play in their transition. That'll take less time off the clock, as the free throw by Bailey is going to go in for the Lady Lions, who now up their ante to 8. 30-22. Next free throw by Bailey. That is good. So now it's 31-22. The Lady Lions on top. Full court press put on by Bremen. Triton trying to push it up, but boy, Bremen just not giving hardly anything. Vermillion gets a tip, as a matter of fact, but Yates takes it, hands it off to Hepler, who had to save it. And Hepler goes to the middle to Veers. Veers at the right elbow, back out to Yates, over to Hepler, finding Atkins. Down to 53 seconds to go in the game, and Triton's got to get a shot away here. Atkins to Yates, and a bad pass is a turnover by Triton. Jalen Bulis will check into the game for Abby Veers.
Triton has as many turnovers as they do points.
That's been their bugaboo all season long. All right, Rodriguez finding Koffel down to 40 seconds left. Koffel behind the back dribble, got free, able to find Foster. Ella down to the top. Handling it is Koffel. Pass intercepted, and Hepler able to outlet to Bulis. Now to Yates with 20 seconds. Goes in for the floater. Off the glass, no good. Bulis gets the board. Trying to get it back to Yates. Broken up by Koffel. Last touched by her out of bounds.
Looks like Bremen's going to defend their championship, Tony.
They're 14 seconds away. Coach Heckman at Triton is going to call a timeout here. We'll keep it here. We'll let you know that Evan Mangus will be talking with the losing coach after the conclusion of this one, and then we're going to go out to the court and get a chance to talk with the winners, as there'll be a net cutting process that goes along with this. And then, of course, we'll welcome in Randy Lemmert as well, leading into the boys' game. And that should be a dandy, as 11-3 John Glenn will get ready for 8-5 New Prairie. Boy, if you ever want to talk about a team with a deceiving record, New Prairie, that's a good ball club right there. All right, here we go with the inbound for Triton. Trailing 31-22 in the championship game. They get it to Hepler. Outletting to Atkins. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the game. Atkins pass intercepted by Koffel. The battle's still on the ground for it, and the whistle sounds, and it'll go to Bremen on the jump ball. So 4 seconds to kill. And Bremen will be this year's Bi-county champions. Final score, 31-22. As the Lady Lions have captured the Bi-county title for a second consecutive season with their victory here over Triton. We'll get a chance to talk with Coach Heckerman in just a little bit with Evan Mangus, who will be stopping and talking with him for just a little bit. And so we'll get with him in just a few moments.
To go to mid-center court.
As it will be Coach going over on the far side, and Evan will get a hold of him real quick to get his thoughts on this. The final 31-22. Bremen with the win. Let's send it downstairs to Evan Mangus for a post-game report. Evan?
Thanks, Tony. And Coach, you said you wanted to keep this a close game, and up until the final minute and a half, 2 minutes, you guys really were able to keep it a close game.
We were. I'm real proud of the girls. They fought the whole time. We came up a couple buckets short. We had, I think, maybe at least 3 layups I can recall that if we can make those, it maybe turns it around a little bit for us and gives us a little bit of momentum. But you got to give Bremen credit. They did what they do defensively. They made the shots and free throws they needed to down the stretch.
Talking about Bremen's defense, they were able to force you guys into a lot of turnovers again, and that's kind of been the story of the whole season. What do you want to try to improve on in that area, especially going into the state tournament coming up now?
Well, I'd like to improve on it and not do it as much. We got things to work on against the press. There's things that we saw better later on. We started getting the ball to the middle, and that's when we got some ability, some chances to score some layups, but we didn't make the layups, and then that just kind of piled up on us. But it's just something we got to keep working on.
And people weren't really expecting you to even make it this far, and especially making it this far, and especially this late in the season, getting ready to go in that state tournament. It's got to give you a little bit of a confidence booster going into the tournament.
Yeah, it does. These girls played. They played their tails end off this week, and if they play like that, the next 2 weeks here, we'll finish the season strong. We'll be ready for sectional, and that's what this does for you. It can get you ready for sectional. You can see what you can do within a week, and I couldn't be prouder of them. Like I said, they fought and fought and fought. We just came up a couple possessions short tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you, Tony.
All right, Evan, again, the final score, 31-22, as the Lady Lions improve to 15-6 on the season, and Triton falls to 10-12 on the year. When we come back, we'll head down to the court and talk to the Lady Lions after this 1-minute timeout. Evan, switch.
From Roosevelt's A&M.
Ponderosa at your Plymouth Ponderosa. Get your party wings to go in the 15, 20, 25 pack, 25, 50 pack at your Plymouth Ponderosa. Well, they're cutting down the net here. And the Lady Lions are back-to-back Bi-county champions. Aaron Koffel, congratulations. This has got to be a nice feeling.
Oh, very nice. This is one of our goals at the beginning of the year, so I'm really happy that we got it and that we accomplished it.
You know, it probably wasn't the kind of performances points-wise you were looking forward to, but, you know, doggone it, you did a lot of things well away from the ball that were making a difference.
Yeah.
And talk about that. I mean, you're going to have those kind of games where you just kind of get frustrated because things aren't going your way, but yet you're winning ball games, which means you're making a difference.
That's how sports roll. You're not gonna be on all the time, so you have to find ways to impact the game differently. So that's what I had to try to do. I had to try to handle my frustration with how I was scoring and put it out in a different way. So that's what I did tonight.
What do you like about this particular team heading into the sectionals?
We're getting hot. We're getting really hot. We're really starting to click right now. Practices, we have really good chemistry, so I really feel like we're starting to come out.
What's going to be key here down the stretch?
Playing together, hitting shots, getting extra work in, having energy all the time, and always having confidence in ourselves.
All right, young lady, congratulations.
Thank you,
very proud of you. Hey, did you say hi to your mom? You got to say hi to mom, right?
Yeah, hi, Mom.
There you go. All right. Thank you, kiddo. Way to go. Haley Rodriguez is our player of the game, and we'll be talking with her here in just a little bit. We'll also get a chance to talk with Bailey Vermillion, who's holding up the trophy. Boy, that Bi-county trophy looks good on the young lady.
It looks great, always. We love it.
Hey, talk about this performance tonight. I mean, this was a very good performance by your girls. May not have been on your best game per se, but you were doing a lot of little things that kept Triton within arm's distance away from you guys consistently.
Yeah, we just had to grind it out. We knew it was going to be tough coming into this because it was a Bi-county final and they haven't been here in a while, but we just started playing our game in the second half, and that's the way we came with the dub.
Well, you know, what aspect about this team do you like? Is it the offensive side of things? Do you like how you're playing defense right now, or is it a combination of both?
Oh, you know I like defense.
There you go. All right, Bailey, congratulations, kid.
Thank you.
All right.
Tony, you win with D, right?
You win with D, indeed, to say the least. We're going to try to get Haley Rodriguez, who was our player of the Bi-county MVP. Ella Foster is with us as well. Ella, congratulations, sweetheart. Big win.
Thank you so much.
You know, talk a little bit about this. You know, this team's a real team. I mean, you guys are playing well.
Thank you, yeah. We get along really well, which helps us play together.
What aspect of this particular club do you like the most?
That we all get along together and that we play like it. We're a great team, especially because we get along so well. Yeah.
You know, when you got a team leader like Aaron Koffel, her effort kind of becomes contagious, doesn't it? Because it sure looks like she's rubbed off on you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. She always is encouraging me, which helps me so much.
And your play has gotten better, and especially in the physical standpoint. I like the fact the confidence is up there tenfold for you. Are you feeling that way?
Thank you. Yeah. I feel more confident this year just because of all more practice that I've had. So, yeah.
Well, talk a little bit about what's going to be key for a second half for you guys.
That we play aggressive, that we feed off of this win, which will help us.
All right, young lady, best of luck. Enjoy tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Bi-county champion winner right there in Ella Foster. One of the reasons why this particular Bremen team continues to be successful. And we're going to be talking with Haley Rodriguez here real quick, our TCU MVP. Boy, young lady, that has a nice sound to it.
Yeah, it really does.
How do you like that hardware right there for the Pilot News?
I love it, but I'm more proud of my team and us coming out with a win.
You know, your girls right now are playing exceptionally well in a lot of aspects, and one of them happens to be team defense. I don't think a lot of your opponents are giving you credit enough for how quick you guys really are getting up and down the court. That's been a nice, pleasant surprise for you guys.
Oh, yeah. We really work on defense and really emphasize on all of that because, you know, once we have good D, our offense is going to start rolling.
Is that how this team works?
Oh,
you feed off your defense?
Oh, yeah. Our defense is everything. We love D.
There you go. And, you know, you got hot. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Are you in a good rhythm right now, more than where you've been this season?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm capable of shooting. It's just this tournament got me really hot, and I'm just glad to keep rolling into sectionals like this, and we're ready.
All right, so we got, a couple more regular season games to go before it's time for the sectionals. Got the big draw tomorrow. What's got to be key for you leading up to the postseason?
We just got to keep building off of this. Don't stay comfortable with where we're at. We got to keep growing and get better every day.
Young lady, congratulations on the accolade, and you well deserved.
Thank you.
All right, Haley Rodriguez joining us here on the post-game show. And let's get Alex Robinson here real quick, the head coach of the Lady Lions, and they're going to get some more net cutting taken care of here. And Alex is trying to rally all the troops here to get the nets cut. So those who haven't had a chance to do it are getting ready to do it here in just a little bit. And it's nice to see the success continue to roll here over in the Bremen community. Bruce Jennings is the principal here. Hey, come here, my friend. I tell you what, boy, the sports community continues to be strong.
Oh, I'm so proud of these girls. They're fantastic students in the classroom and great kids on the court. They just had good sportsmanship, and I'm really proud of them.
All right, go enjoy this.
Thank you.
All right, Bruce Jennings joining us here. Alex Robinson, let's get him over here real quick for our post-game interview. Congratulations, babe. That was wonderful performance by your girls. May not have been the best performance of the season, but again, the MO with this particular group is they find ways to win. And tonight was another classic example.
Yeah, you got to win in different ways, and I think we've done that all year. And this is not the first game we've been in like this. And, sometimes you got to win ugly, and if that's in a championship with the Bi-county, we'll take it. But our girls were tough, and they fought through it, even though, the ball might not have been bouncing our way the whole game. But, hey, we'll take the championship win at BiCounty.
Triton had an interesting game plan against you guys. They tried to limit your possessions, it really looked like, to slow you down because you guys like to run and gun. Talk about the adjustments that you were trying to make throughout the game.
Yeah, their defense, we knew what it was going to be, but it's easier said than done to attack that defense, and they really pack it in on you, and they force us out of our defense as well because they'll just pass the ball around and keep the game close, and we really wanted to try and avoid that, and I think that got us a little bit out of what we're comfortable doing, but I think we were prepared to do that. Offensively, we just switched it up to get more movement, and the first half I thought we were really stagnant. Second half, we played a little bit more like a man-to-man style offense where we're moving and screening.
Now that we got the Bi-county out of the way, you get another championship, which is a great honor in itself. What's going to happen here leading up to the sectional play? You'll find out who you're going to play during the draw tomorrow. But at this point, what's going to be this team's goal that you're going to challenge them with going into the postseason?
Yeah, I think just sticking to what we do. We've been pretty consistent in how we've attacked our opponents all year. And like I said, we've learned how to win in different ways. But yeah, I think really just refining the little things and getting back to what we do, and hopefully, shots start falling a little bit more for us and we can get rolling at the right time.
All right, buddy, congratulations, great win.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, Alex Robinson joining us. Dee Durant, get over here. Come talk to me. I don't know why you're being all bashful. I see you talking all the time during practice and stuff.
I do, but I just get a little nervous.
Well, don't be worried about that. Because you're going to get a chance to talk about your team and for you. This has got to be kind of sweet for you. This is your back-to-back, conference, titles here in the Bi-county. This is always something you guys kind of really want to accomplish at this junction, didn't it?
Yeah, we did we worked hard every single day at practice. We push each other up, and then when we get down, we just lift each other's up, and we do everything we can to just get here. And we won, and thanks to our coaches who push us every single day. I'm grateful for them and our parents too.
I see a lot of similarities with last year's team to this year's team. Now, granted, you're minus a couple of big scores that you played behind and with, but this team's got their own identity now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They were just pushing us, and I'm grateful for our coaches that made us better. Those other teams they were pushing us too, and I'm just grateful for my teammates that we got to here.
All right, well, congratulations, kiddo, and enjoy this, and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Dee Durant joining us here on the post-game show, and it's presented by our good friends at your Plymouth Ponderosa. All right, when we come back, we're going to have our play of the game honor, and we'll do so after this timeout.
A loved one has been called home, and you wish to pay tribute by celebrating their precious life respectfully with family and friends. Johnson Danielson Funeral Home thanks this great community for allowing us to serve for over 140 years. We believe the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is delivering service beyond expectation through experience, compassion, and care. Our cornerstone is confidence and trust, from pre-planning to aftercare. We handle the details so that you may celebrate life. Johnson Danielson Funeral Home, with service beyond expectation.
It's
time now for the play of the game, sponsored by Johnson Danielson Funeral Home.
All right, it's time for our play of the game honors. Let's send it over to Doug. And what do you got for our play of the game, brother?
Yeah, Tony, Bremen led 27-22 in the fourth quarter, and I just thought it was a terrific play. Great pass by Aaron Koffel, and found cutting Didi Duran, who, of course, you just talked to, for the lay-in. Gave him a 29-22 lead. Of course, Bremen was in control, but just a beautiful sort of tag team play on that particular possession, and that's our player of the game.
All right, it's time now for our W.B. Hawkins Award nominees. Here's once again Steve Cox.
High School, Owen Naifong and Macy Moore. Bremen High School, Reese Willis and Aaron Calco. Cobra High School, Owen Valaquette and Alexandra Timmy. John Glenn High School, Corey Marker and Reagan Moore. LaVille High School, Connor Wazoric and Trinity Cox. New Prairie High School, Chase Ketterer and Jordan Newberg. Oregon Davis High School, Garrett Weil and Jaden Worthington. And from Triton High School, Jared Mulis and Whitney Miller. Again, let's have a nice round of applause for our W.B. Hawkins Award nominees. At this time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to TCU Representative Randy Lambert for a few comments.
Thank you. TCU is proud to continue the long-term sponsorship of the 55th annual TCU Bi-county Tournament. It's a pleasure to work with the school administration, particularly the athletic department of LaVille High School, runs a class tournament that many consider to be the best mid-season tournament in the state of Indiana. And as you saw in the first game, and I know we'll see in a second, the players laid it all on the line here. And thank you to the fans for creating the environment that this tourney is all about. The athletes are on the floor here represent the best of what high school athletics is all about. They're leaders in their community, leaders in the classroom, and just represent all the best. TCU is proud to recognize them for the characteristics they represent. And thank you, fans, for all of your support.
Thank you, Randy. Our female 2020 W.B. Hawkins Award. Her work ethic, leadership, and sportsmanship are evident in all that she does, says. The coach of this year's recipient, adding she's the type of teammate and competitor that only comes around once in a great while. From cross country to golf, softball to basketball, this senior is a skilled and versatile athlete. And just being a member of the team has helped her grow as a leader. Sidelined some due to injuries, her actions from the bench were as impactful as her on-field performance. She continued to propel her teammates forward despite her personal setbacks. While unable to play, she remained optimistic, focused, and determined to achieve her goals. An active member of Kosciuszko Youth Leadership Academy, she also regularly assists with the elementary school's annual Books and Baskets event, where younger students are paired with high school athletes. She also oversaw and helped recruit other volunteers for a high school's field day. She's a 4-year member of the Science, Spanish, and Spirit Clubs, Student Council at Indiana DECA, a program that prepares students for careers in marketing, finance, and management. A member of the National Honor Society, she's also ranked first in her class, maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Please join me in recognizing 2020 Girls W.B. Hawkins Award recipient, Triton Junior Senior High School, Whitney Miller.
Boy, I tell you, what a great recipient. Considering the fact that she's gone through 3 years of injuries, and she didn't even get a chance to play in the Bi-County, but because of those efforts you heard Mr. Cox just talk about a moment ago, she gets nominated. Congratulations, Whitney. Well-deserved, young lady.
All right, let's move over to the guys. The male 2020 Hawkins Award. This recipient has exemplified athletic excellence in high school, collecting numerous area and statewide honors with a work ethic and competitive drive that his coach says sets the standard for the entire team. This year's Hawkins recipient leads by example as well as mentoring younger students, inspiring them to put in the effort necessary to achieve excellence. As a member of his high school's HOSA, Future Health Professionals chapter, he's also pursued opportunities to develop as a healthcare industry leader, working with his partners to develop products to prevent athletic injuries. A leader on and off the court, he's made a difference helping to coach and mentor young students through summer sports camps, and having demonstrated leadership within his high school and community, he was selected as a participant in Leadership LaPorte County's youth program. He's also a National Honor Society member, having maintained a 3.9 GPA in the classroom. Please join me in recognizing the 2020 Boys W.B. Hawkins Award recipient, New Prairie High School senior, Chase Ketterer.
Another outstanding student athlete getting this honor.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give all of these W.B. Hawkins Award nominees a nice round of applause. Congratulations, job well done. Thank you for representing your school so well. This concludes our ceremony at this time.
All right, so once again, congratulations to the winners, Whitney Miller at Triton and Chase Ketterer of New Prairie for the W.B. Hawkins winners. And we'll be talking here with Randy Lemmer here real quick here. Randy, if we can get you in for a quick moment. Boy, very proud moment once again for Teachers Credit Union.
Yeah, we love getting that word out. As I mentioned, these kids represent what athletics is all about, leaders in the classroom, community, as well as on the court.
You know, this has been a wonderful partnership with the Bi-County and Teachers Credit Union. Let's talk about that for a second.
Absolutely. We love what you do. We both have a common goal of loving to see kids succeed. I know that your station is all about that, and we as an organization about that as well. And we just love being able to partner with you to do that.
Well, I tell you, it takes a strong backer and strong supporter, and TCU is definitely that. And then some. You guys got a bunch of great servants' hearts, and that's what makes you guys #1. So keep up the great work, buddy.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
All right, Randy Lemler again filling in tonight, business commercial management services, and of course. He does a lot of great school relationship stuff because he's one of the officers for TCU that handles that. And I tell you, it's great to get a chance to partner with him, to say the least. All right, when we come back, let's get to our players of the game of the girls matchup and wrap up our post-game show presented by the Plymouth Ponderosa after this timeout.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you're interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
Kenzie Atkins, I thought not only tonight, but she had a really impressive tournament, hit 3 3-pointers tonight, finished with a team high 9 points, actually tied for game high honors 9. So Kenzie Atkins has a really bright future, and she's our Triton player of the game tonight.
And for the victorious Bremen Lady Lions.
Well, what more can you say? Haley Rodriguez carried over her performance from the other night where she hit 6 triples. She hit 3 tonight to finish with a team high, game high tying honors, 9 points. Most valuable player in the Bi-County tournament, and they needed her to step up definitely in these last 2 games. Erin Koffel, had some foul trouble tonight, but 7 of her 8 points came in the 3rd quarter. Koffel did, and Rodriguez answered the bell again, and what a tournament for her, and congratulations. Haley Rodriguez is our Bremen player of the game.
All right, you got some numbers for us, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, you look at this was a very impressive performance by Bremen. Not certainly, like you said, to Alex Foster. Didn't have their A game going by any stretch of the imagination. They struggled shooting the basketball. They were just 25% for the game, 8 of 32. Really struggled from distance, 3 of 16. That's under 20%. Also struggled from charity stripe, but they went 20 times compared to Triton's 2 free throw attempts, and Bremen knocked down 12 of those 20 tries. They did get out rebounded 24-22, but again, one of the biggest statistics in the game, they forced 21 Triton turnovers. That was gigantic to say the least, and held an 18-4 points off of turnovers. And like I mentioned, they outscored Triton 12-2 at the charity stripe. Triton, they also struggled shooting the basketball. 8 of 25 from the floor, that's 32%. 4 of 11 from distance. They knocked down their only 2 free throws. And looking at the scoring, again, Rodriguez for Bremen led them with 9. The Koffel had 8. Then they got 4 from Bailey Vermillion, 4 from Foster, 4 from Dee Duran, and 2 points from Katie Moyer that was coming in the 4th quarter. Triton's points came from the 9 points from Kenzie Atkins, our player of the game for Triton, and they got 5 from Emma Hepler. Abby Veers had 4, and then Hulstrauser had 2, as did Taryn Yates, and Taryn Yates also battled foul trouble. So Bremen defends their championship with a 31-22 victory over Triton, and now they look forward to sectional draw, which I believe is tomorrow.
Indeed it will be. That's going to wrap it up for the Ponderosa Steakhouse postgame show. When we come back, it'll be our pregame show presented by our good friends at the Gutter Guys. It's all coming up after this 1-minute timeout. Hang in there and be my engineer for a little bit.
All right.
Fill in for me, I'll fill in for you. All
right, sounds good. Hey, Doug, can you hand me the New Prairie papers over there? The ones underneath them.
Dad, can you hear me?
Thanks.
Don't let that happen. Speak up about hearing loss. You'll be glad you did.
Visit Alan Reese Hearing Aids, located at 322 North Michigan Street, Suite C, in Plymouth.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors, because that's what we are. This winter, when the cold starts creeping at your door, make sure your propane supplier is nearby. Across the county, not the country. Co-Alliance Propane is seriously local, with experts to keep you warm and safe this winter. Find out more at coalliancepropane.com. Co-Alliance Propane, seriously local. coalliancepropane.com.
Welcome to the Gutter Guys pregame show. And here's Max 98.3 Sports Director Tony Ross.
Live from the Daly Cox Gymnasium, welcome to the boys edition of the 2020 55th Annual TCU Bi-county Basketball Tournament. Hi again, everyone. Tony Ross, along with Doug Griffith and Evan Mangus. We get you ready for the boys' side of things. And, boy, we are going to be in for a treat with this one. New Prairie coming in with a record of 8 wins, 5 losses. John Glenn coming in with a record of 11 wins and 3 losses. Make no mistake about it, this one has all the makings of being a very, very entertaining game, Doug.
Yeah, it certainly does. The 2 most athletically gifted teams and talent abounds on this court. Some guys, more than a few, that can play above the rim. 2 teams that love to play 84 feet, get out and run. And they're also comfortable in the half-court set, too, because they've got plenty of weapons from beyond the arc. So I think this was the game most of us had penciled in, depending on how that Glenn-LaVille semifinal matchup went, and that was yet again another classic. So I think that's going to be one of our keys. You know, how does Glenn rebound from another thrilling, sort of a heart-stopping, very intense game with rival LaVille? How do they come out tonight? But I think the adrenaline will be flowing for the Falcons given what's at stake, and of course New Prairie being an NIC rival.
And Evan, I mean, this one, I think really the big story is going to be how each team's going to handle their inside game.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, because both teams come in here with a lot of size and a lot of athleticism, so both teams, and we both know both teams that can knock down shots from the outside, but it's going to come down to which team's able to rebound and win the game inside.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with the coaches as we'll go courtside, presented by Ancilla College, right after this 1-minute timeout.
For the kids. That's when I found my credit union, TCU. I got a great rate on a loan and so much more. TCU showed me how easy banking can be with 24/7 mobile access, convenient checking, and cash back on debit card purchases. And with the Kids Club, my kids beg to go to TCU. They're having fun saving.
To learn how TCU can help you, visit tcunet.com.
My family, their future. That's why TCU is my credit union.
TCU, federally insured by the NCUA.
Looking to shape up but don't know where to start? Or maybe you're looking for a new challenge in your fitness effort. Whatever your situation, here's a happier, healthier tomorrow, and it's available right now. Come to Plymouth Fitness Forum Sports and Wellness Center. Make new friends. Join a group exercise program or a phonics class. Enjoy the Dance Academy. A more energetic, enthusiastic you begins at the Fitness Forum at Life Place. Stop in at Miller Drive or visit fitnessforum.biz.
Let's talk with the coaches on the Ancilla Chargers Sideline Show with Tony Ross.
Our courtside show brought to you by our good friends at Ancilla College. Find out how you can become an Ancilla Charger by logging on to AncillaChargers.com. Pleasure to welcome in Travis Hanna, head coach of the John Glenn Falcons. Boy, that was a heck of a win last night against this LaVille team. And I'll tell you, pushing each other to the limits, man. And I don't know what gets you more battle-tested than a battle against LaVille going into trying to win a championship in the Bi-county.
Well, obviously, in a great atmosphere, and I think we got a great atmosphere tonight, so our kids should be used to it and have that experience. So we'll see. Hopefully our legs hold out tonight. That's my biggest concern.
Well, and you know, I mean, does the fact that it is a championship game kind of give you that little bit of energy boost, you think?
Well, I think it will early. The question is in the second half, you know, late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter. I think that's going to be the telltale is, you know, see where we're at defensively, if we're a half step slow or not. We can't be a half step slow against these guys. So it'll show. I can tell you that.
Well, of course, one of the telltale signs is going to be interesting to see how each other is going to be able to handle the inside presence. I'm sure this is something you kind of addressed during practice today. What's going to be a factor for you guys in handling their bigs?
Well, the thing that they do nice that maybe we didn't see last night is their bigs, they have a tendency to tip the ball, Tony, when they don't get it. When they can't get their hands on it, they tip it back to their guards. So it's going to be really important for our guards to block out and make sure we get those long rebounds or those tip outs and not stand and watch and allow them to step in and take the ball from us.
Turnovers are going to be a big key here. You can't afford to have a lot of them if you're going to try to pull out a win here tonight.
Well, it's a championship game. You can't turn the ball over at any time, but especially in championships. And we really can't turn the ball over in bad spots where we give them transition buckets. We got to keep them in a half-court game on that end of the floor, and hopefully we can get out and run a little bit on the offensive end of the floor.
And, of course, the other big key for you guys is to score more points than the other.
Always is, Tony. Always is.
Travis Hanna joining us here on our pregame show. Back with more in a moment, and on VH1 as well.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
TCU Bi-county Championship game. Game 2, the John Glenn Falcons getting ready to take on the New Prairie Cougars. We're standing here next to Coach Bowers of the Cougars. And, Coach, congratulations on a great win last night. I mean, let's face it, Bremen played one of their better games of the season, and you guys were able to withhold them. And, boy, you've had a lot of big wins this year. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, last night was tough. We knew Bremen was going to give us their best game. They got a lot of talented players, so we were able to
they got off to that fast start. We were able to survive it and be able to pull away at the end.
So tell me what it's like coaching a team that is big, that is athletic, and plays as hard as they do. I mean, this has got to be a fun year for you.
That's a nice trifecta of things to describe your team as. So, yeah, I mean, they're a great group. They're a great group. They got the length, can't really teach that, and they play hard. They enjoy playing. That's the biggest thing. They love playing basketball. They ask a lot of questions. What should I do here? So you know they're thinking, and they're smart basketball players, and they understand how their work ethic can lead to wins. So we've been able to turn that into some quality record so far.
Chase Ketterer ends up being the W.B. Hawkins winner on the boys' side of things. Talk a moment about him, because what a great gentleman he is.
He is. I mean, he's a very well-deserving young man of that award. I mean, he's a tremendous leader, tremendous young man, does so much for his community, is respected throughout the school and the community. You know, I've only known him here for a couple months, being new to the school, but everything I heard about him was true. I mean, he's a tremendous asset to our team, tremendous asset to the school and to the community as well.
Well, you're going to meet this team on the 31st here that you're playing here tonight. That's not even in the picture. It's about worrying about how you deal with them tonight. I mentioned to Travis a moment ago about the inside game, and boy, he just admires what you've got as far as your bigs are concerned. So this is your turn to kind of talk about the concerns of this John Glenn team that you're going to have to take care of with your boys.
Well, Travis does a tremendous job. I mean, they're always well prepared for every game. They always seem to always be on the same page. All five guys know exactly what's going on. They do a great job communicating, and that's a compliment to Coach Hanna. They've got size as well. They've got shooting. They've got experience. They've got some youth. They got a lot of things that we're going to have to deal with tonight.
All right, buddy. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll be talking with Coach Bowers at halftime as well. That'll do it for our pregame show. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll get to our keys to the game, so don't go away.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
That's all I know. For a new challenge in your fitness effort.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass through. A journey completed. A state of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Evan, we were talking a little bit about this particular matchup here tonight and what we kind of expect. And our keys to the game are brought to you by A&M Home Services from Rooster Basements. We've got you covered. You know, the scouting report pretty much says this for New Prairie. They're very long, they're athletic, they're extremely active, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and they try to go and get their turnovers. And we saw in that game last night against Bremen, they had very good success using those long arms, getting into passing lanes and frustrating the motion that Bremen was trying to establish on the offensive side of things. Glenn's going to have to figure out a way to combat that, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think the nice thing is Glenn has that size and that athleticism as well. So even though New Prairie was able to do that against Bremen, I think they'll have a little bit more trouble doing it against Glenn. But it's still going to be a big key for them to be able to do that on the defensive end, provide that pressure from their length and athleticism, and try and force some turnovers from Glenn there.
You know, another thing that's going to be interesting, too, to see is just how well these two are going to make adjustments on one another, not just with the inside game, but both teams got some really good outside shooters, and so you got to honor that as well.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of depend on what shooters are on for each team, because both teams have a few different players that can knock it down even with a hand in their face. So I think pretty early on we're going to see who's on for each team and who's knocking them down, and we'll see if both teams are able to figure out who's on for their opponent and try and lock them down.
You're listening to the A&M Home Services Keys to the Game, brought to you by our good friends at A&M Home Services from Bristol Basements. We've got you covered. And, you know, I'll tell you, on the Glenn side of things, it was nice to see some great effort out of the likes of Robbie Porter. Got out of a great first half. Did a lot of little things in the second half that helped his team get the win. That's one thing that Glenn has been able to have this year that they haven't had in years past, where Travis Hannah's kind of deep, but it's tough to take off his starting five because they do so well for the entire 4 quarters.
Yeah, and it was even more impressive seeing Robbie Porter perform like that, considering that he was kind of in pain a little bit, especially in the third quarter. He was bent over at the bench, but he came in, fought hard through the rest of the game, and was able to finish strong. And that's what you love to see out of a senior, and I think that's part of the reason John Glenn is so deep, is because they have that senior leadership that's kind of rubbed off on the underclassmen.
You know, when it comes to the shooting aspect of it right now, this Glenn team's 48%, and it's been by no accident. 57% of their shots taken have been classified as either open looks, in transition, or via offensive rebound opportunities, which means over half of Glenn's opportunities are uncontested chances. I don't know if they're going to see that tonight out of this New Prairie team, to be quite honest with you, simply because of their length and size. So is there a way to achieve that, to reach that kind of percentage as Glenn's been able to do all season long?
I think it's just going to come down to trying to create those opportunities. Even though New Prairie's got that same size and athleticism that they don't see a whole lot, if they're able to try and get some turnovers off of New Prairie and get into transition, or maybe even they'll probably have to get creative offensively, trying to get some open looks that way as well.
One thing we found out about this New Prairie team is that they've got some pretty good pure shooters, and it starts with the Ryan McBride. We saw Evan Ferg have a great game, but even Braden Flagg, their 6'4" junior lefty, who comes in averaging, right around 7 points a game, actually a little bit more than that. Let me rephrase that. He's averaging around 12 points a game. Started the season averaging 7 in his first 3 games. That's how much he's improved. But you got to figure out where he's at on the court at all times, because he can literally take over a game.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that against Bremen when they were playing. He was able to knock down a few big threes that kind of gave New Prairie momentum. But again, they have a few guys that are able to knock down those shots, and they're a 34% team from the three-point line. So if they're able to continue that streak and keep shooting like that during this game, it'll be a hard team to stop offensively.
You know, and Doug Griffith joins us here, and we talked about the inside game and how each other are going to be able to kind of play chess with one another in that particular department. Is there any other aspects in this one that you think are going to be kind of crucial after it's all said and done?
Well, foul difficulty, Tony, always plays a part, and especially when you've got two very talented, tall, athletic teams that like to crash the glass. So you've got to be under control when you try to go for those offensive rebounds. And again, both teams like to get after it defensively. So you don't want to pick up those cheap fouls. And, we all, have identified a couple players on both teams that they can ill afford to lose for extended periods of time. And we saw in that LaVille game, John Glenn had to navigate through some foul trouble, and they did it. But again, I don't know if they want to roll the dice and try that against New Prairie.
All right, so that's our A&M Home Services Keys to the Game. Coming up after this 30-second timeout, it's our starting lineups presented by the Shepherd Auto Group of Rochester after this 30-second break.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Of Rochester.
Welcome back here to the Dale E. Cox Gymnasium. Time now for our starting lineups presented by the Shepherd Auto Group of Rochester, where we always treat you like family. Let's head down courtside with Coach
Good
Cox.
evening, basketball fans. Welcome to LaVille High School in the Dale E. Cox Gymnasium for tonight's championship ball game of the 55th annual Teachers Credit Union Bi-county basketball tournament. Now let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's varsity boys contest. Beginning with the guest team on the scoreboard, the New Prairie Cougars. Starting at one guard, a 6'1" senior, number 5, Chase Ketterer. Starting at the other guard is 6'2", junior number 22, Rylan McBride. Starting at one forward is 6'4", junior number 30, Braden Flagg. Starting at second forward is 6'4", junior number 32, Hunter Smith. Starting at third forward is 6'6", senior number 33, Evan Ferg. New Prairie Cougars are coached by Mike Bauer. Now speak to starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard, the John Glenn Falcons. Starting at one guard at 5'10", southpaw, number 3, Silas Kaser. Starting at second guard, a 6'4", senior number 4, Rob Porter. Starting at third guard is 6'1", junior number 10, Carter Young. Starting at one forward is 6'3", freshman number 14, Bryson Hanna. Starting at the other forward is 6'8", senior number 34, Corey Barker. John Glenn Falcons are coached by Travis Hanna.
So that's our starting lineups, brought to you by our good friends at the Shepherd Auto Group of Rochester, where we treat you like family. Our tip-off tonight brought to you by our good friends at Energy Efficient Roofing in Plymouth, the waterproofing specialists. Roof for the best or leak like the rest. Well, the tip-off will be between Corey Barker and Evan Ferg. Evan is 6'7", 205-pound senior, while Corey's a 6'8" senior. As we are about ready to get going here to start this matchup. And the tip is going to be controlled by New Prairie, as leaping in the air to grab it will be Braden Flagg. And so on the offense, New Prairie runs it. It's going to be McBride into the hands of Ketterer. The WB Hawkins winner throws it away on a steal, and it's going to be Robbie Porter to take it the other way for John Glenn. They're going right to left on your radio dial. Silas Kaser will get it over to the top of the key to Young.
Glenn started man-to-man defense. New Prairie's in the zone.
And now on the counter, Kaser to the right side, Robbie Porter a three. It's going to be short. The rebound battle for Barker, took a slap at it. The ball got kicked, saved by Kaser inside the end. And now it's worked over to Robbie for another three attempt. That one's good. So Robbie Porter gets Glenn on the board, 3-0 here in the early stages of our boys Bi-county Championship game. Once again handling the ball, this time for the Cougars was Flagg, and now to Ketterer. Now to Ferg. Ferg to the right side to McBride again. Ryland will get it to the top of the key to Hunter Smith, who had a good game. Now Flagg to the right side to Ferg, off a screen. Ketterer for three on the right wing, no good. Popped around, and Bryson Hanna will chase it down and save it. And Glenn gets the ball back, and here they come back on offense. Porter to the corner, wide open is Young. Bingo! Carter Young hits the tray, and Glenn leads now 6-0. They're going to call a foul after the play, and that's going to be on Bryson Hanna. I missed it. What'd he do?
I missed it too. I was watching the shot by Young.
So don't know why Bryson picked up that foul, but he did. And with 6.5 left to go in the first, New Prairie looking for their first bucket still on the offense. McBride pull up, baseliner, no good. Ferg gets it back, turns on the jump hook. That won't fall. And Hanna comes away with the miss, and then he's fouled. Oh, he called for travel. And Travis Hanna, the coach of John Glenn, livid at the call.
It's like, are you kidding me? Hanna falls to the ground, and they called travel. Of course, Coach Hanna thought Bryson was knocked to the ground.
So here we go on the counter. New Prairie maintains possession, and Ketterer at the top of the key. 3-2 zone shown here by the Falcons defensively. And now McBride with the basketball at our angle high. Worked around to Hunter Smith to Ketterer. Ketterer pulls the ball back out with some aggressiveness defensively by Porter. A touch by Ferg, finds his man Flagg at the top of the key. Barker guards him off the shot. Worked over to the left side to McBride instead. McBride to Ferg. One hops the right side to Ketterer. New Prairie patient on the offense. Good defense shown here by the Falcons. Here's a drive in by Ketterer. No good. The rebound goes out of bounds. That's going to be off Ketterer. And Glenn holds.
What a great defensive set by Glenn. Really flashing out on shooters and hands up, hands high. Travis Hanna even applauded. But that defensive effort, that was one for the archives.
Travis Hanna, who's in his 13th year at John Glenn. 21st overall, spent the majority of his time, or a good chunk of it, half of his time actually, over at Oregon Davis. Won a state championship when he was a Bobcat coach. Porter with a bad pass, and New Prairie is going to get a steal, and now they get a chance to get on the board again. Handling the basketball is Hunter Smith. Make that McBride now to Smith. Bullet pass. Nice grab there by Flagg. If Flagg would have blinked, it would have went by him. Here's Ketterer out of the top. And Hunter Smith gets it down low to Ferg, who brings it back out to Ketterer. Ferg sets a screen for Ketterer. Nothing happens. Flagg gets a screen, and he buries the three. So the team's leading scorer, and Braden Flagg, averaging 12 a game, just knocks down his 25th outside shot of the season, and the lead cut in half to 6-3 for the Falcons, who had the ball now.
It's a great defensive matchup to watch, Barker against Flagg.
Young with the ball on the right wing side. Gets it out to Kaiser. Kaiser wants to attack that 2-3. It works over to Porter, now to Young. He'll light up a three ball. That's an air ball stolen by Flagg, and now we go the other way for the Cougars. If they get a three ball, they tie it up. Ketterer yanks a high pass down, gets it back to Flagg, over to Ketterer in the corner. He drives baseline, shut down there, hits his cutter, Ferg, and he scores. Good slip by Ferg, and New Prairie trails 1. 6-5 now, Glenn ball and the lead. Barker able to find Porter, left angle high, zips it over to Kaiser right side to the far corner. Young looking inside. Barker late in getting to his spot. Now Barker pops out. Young will instead go to the top, finding Kaiser, who attacks in with a floater. Whistle sounds. No shot, but a foul on the floor. And that's going to go against New Prairie's Chase Ketterer, the 6'1", 195-pound senior, who was just named the W.B. Hawkins Award winner on the boys' side. So congratulations to Chase. Inbound left of the basket here for New Prairie. Kaiser gets into the corner. Barker back out to Young. Touched by Porter. Porter hops in the lane, kicks left side. Kaiser takes it. And now Glenn patient on the offense once more. Kaiser on the left angle high, finding Porter on the right wing side. Looking inside, nothing happening. Now back into the hands of Porter again. Robbie looking for Barker underneath. Instead goes to Kaiser outside. Work to the corner. Young again. Carter got into early foul trouble last night. Needs to stay in the game the entire 4 quarters. Glenn's going to need him. Kaiser one hops it over to Hanna, or make that Porter to the right wing side. Young again. Now down low to Hanna. Goes up strong, and he couldn't muscle it home. The battle for it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Bryson.
Got a good look. It's a heck of a battle in there. A lot of timber in there, Tony. A lot of tall, long arms.
Well, a lot of physical play.
Yeah. Bodying up on Hanna. It's another good matchup to watch as the game goes on.
Trying to drive in right side. Flagg with a beautiful spin move. Couldn't spin it home. Ferg had it taken away, and a poke by Hanna. And it comes to teammate Young up to Kaiser. And Silas brings it across the timeline right side over to Young. Work to the corner. Barker lights his first three up. It's short. And he may have got fouled too. Let's see. Nope, it's a foul, but it's going to be away from the shooter, and the foul goes against Hunter Smith of New Prairie. That's his first.
Like you said, Tony, a lot of physical contact in the lane.
Still with a 1-point lead is Glenn on the inbound. It comes to Barker, out to Young, right angle high. Over the corner, Barker, down low to Bryson. Kicks it back out. Young attacks the free throw line, no further. Now to Barker, who steps in. Over to Young, left open, left wing for three. That's too long, and a rebound. Unable to be so. It is saved on a brilliant play by Braden Flagg. And the Cougars maintain possession. McBride up the court, left side, kick to the far wing. Ferger baseline shot, no good. Rebound Barker, outlets to Porter. That ball gets tipped around like a hot potato. Out of bounds off who? New Prairie. So the clock stops at 2:22 here in the first quarter. 6-5 Glenn, and they have the chance in the offense one more time.
I think this game means a lot. All 10 players were hustling for that ball. I love seeing that.
And they're going to play with one another once again on the 31st next week. Falcons with the ball. And Porter has it top of the key. Porter gets it off to the right side of Young. Carter brings it out. Now Kaiser attacks that elbow, gets it out to Porter on the wing. Back down low to Barker, back out Porter. Now to Kaiser again, trying to tack in, and that's a blocking foul on Moreno, who's checked into the game for New Prairie. Tanner, a junior. So the blocking foul on him stops the clock at 2:01. That's 3 team fouls now on New Prairie. Glenn's only got one if you're keeping track at home. Welcome all those listening in on Max983.net worldwide and also watching on our video stream with LVH1. Wayne and the good folks have done a great job in video streaming the entire Bi-county. Falcons run the offense. Here's a post lead into Hanna. Shot fake, put up, score. Bryson Hanna with a nice bucket. 8-5 Glenn. Minute 40 and counting left in the first quarter. Ketterer stopped at the elbow, worked to the top. And Moreno now with it on the left wing side. Takes that left, goes baseline with a floater, hit the side of the basket. It deflects loose, and it's Porter getting in, and now he's on the run. Now it's Bryson going in strong. That's going to be an offensive foul on Bryson Hanna. 2 fouls on him now.
Didn't really need that, sort of forced the issue. Easy call for the official. Now Bryson's going to have to go to the bench.
Frankowitz is going to come in for him. Frankowitz is a 41% shooter. 25 of 56 coming in tonight. Frankie averaging 5 a game. He has scored 65 on the season. So that's who's replacing Bryson for the Falcons, and an 8-5 Falcon lead with 1:13 left in the first. Flag with the basketball, able to dump it off to Hunter Smith. He goes left. There's Ketterer inside the arc. Thought about the shot, didn't take it. Back out to Smith. Now it's a touch Ferg. Down to Moreno on the right wing side. High screen gets him open enough to pass to Smith. Left wing side. Flag and NBA 3, the Rainbow. No pot of gold there. And a rebound to Barker. He's got one man to beat. And he'll blast the layup. And the rebound taken by New Prairie. And the outlet hits Ketterer on the run. Ketterer 3-on-3 now cuts in with a dipsy-do shot. No good. Rebound. Ferg had it blocked and fouled at the same time. That foul goes against Glenn at the 40.8 second mark of the first quarter. So Frankowitz called for his first foul of the night. Each team now with 3 fouls. To the free throw line for the Cougars will be Evan Ferg. He is only 31% on the season. Didn't look like it there as he made his 6th free throw of the year. New Prairie comes in shooting 63% from the charity stripe this year. Free throw shooting, this New Prairie team's getting to the free throw line about 11 times per game, hitting 7 per contest. So they're a little under 70% on the season. Next free throw for Ferg, and he hit it. So now it's a 1-point deficit for New Prairie, who will get back on defense as the Falcons have the 8-7 lead. Will bring the ball up on the Reese Hearing Center scoreboard.
Ferg's got 4 points here for New Prairie, 4 of the 7.
With the basketball is Kaiser. Silas hands it off to Robbie Porter. Quickly to Frankowitz. Now to Young, right side to Barker. Inlet, Porter kicks it back out. Barker, a quick 3. Good! Corey Barker hits his 25th 3 of the season. 11-7 Glenn. 15 seconds left in the first. New Prairie runs the offense. Moreno on the right side. Kaiser with him step for step. Moreno gets around him on the baseline, kicked it to the reverse to Soleil, and now worked now to McBride. A high screen for him. Doesn't wind up in a shot. Down to 2 seconds. Moreno needs the fourth of a shot that got blocked. Glenn wound up with it to end the first quarter. At the end of one in the boys championship game of the 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament here on Max 98.3 Sports and viewed on LVH1. It's 11-7 Glenn. Back after this 30-second timeout.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
22 North Michigan Street in downtown.
Max 98.3 Sports brought to you in part by First Source Bank. Also by Belmar BP gas stations of Plymouth, Bremen, Lakeville, and Bourbon. And by the Gutter Guys. Call the Gutter Guys. We make it seamless at 780-2311. All right, Evan Magus had a chance to be in that huddle during the in-between quarters. Evan, what did Coach Bowers have to say to his Cougars?
Tony, Coach Bauer just told his guys that they got to, that was a good first quarter, good hard-fought first quarter. They've got to keep doing that for 3 more quarters, keep moving the ball on offense, and they just got to keep playing hard.
All right, so Glenn basketball as they run the offense here.
Tony, Glenn knocked down 4 of 10 shots in the opening quarter, including 3 3-pointers.
Kaiser gets to the low volleyball line, has to bring it back out, stays on the perimeter. And now it's to Robbie Porter for 3. Off the rim, glass, no good. And a rebound hauled down by New Prairie, looking to get back into this, trailing by 4 right now in his possession. This is McBride kicking it to the right side. Soleil with a baseline pull-up, no good. Rebound taken away by Robbie Porter. Here come the Falcons back on the counter. Robbie Porter to the near side, Frankowitz. Back to Porter at the free throw line. Slips and falls as he dishes off to Kaiser. Kaiser tries to dribble enough to let Robbie get back up and join play again. Now it's Jack Porter. To the right corner, Barker another 3. Corey goes strong. Once more time. Corey Barker with another tray from outside. 14-7 Glenn. Boy, I tell you, those are some big shots from him. Moreno back to the top, Soleil.
Who said it in the LaVille broadcast, what a weapon Corey Barker is to be that tall and be able to stretch the defense by hitting those triples.
Pulling up Moreno, and he gets caught for the offensive foul as he lowered his shoulder, trying to attack the lane. So New Prairie will make some substitutions as Ketterer and Smith check out, or check in, and Moreno and Soleil check out. Kaiser has the basketball. And he'll bring it across the timeline. His team leading by 7, 14-7 to score. And it's Porter with the basketball. Robbie on the left angle high, guarded by Ketterer, kicked it over to Kaiser, into the corner Jack. Right back it comes Kaiser to Robbie, hopping into the lane with a floater. Couldn't get the roll. Barker put it up and drew the foul. Boy, Barker everywhere right now, not only shooting from outside, but grabbing some boards. And that's going to be crucial for Glenn tonight.
Very active, like you said, Tony.
14-7 Glenn. Corey Barker was fouled on that last play. Goes to the free throw line, and the first one is up and good. Corey Barker came in a 79% from the free throw line on a 61% Glenn shooting team.
Barker up to 7 points now.
Corey's next free throw's up, and that is good as well. 16-7 John Glenn. Ketterer has the basketball, dumps it off into the hands of Flagg. Braden to the right side, Ketterer. Back to Flagg. He'll give it to McBride across the way. McBride from the left side goes to the corner. Ketterer had to come to the ball. Now he's going to attack the lane, flip it up and score. Chase Ketterer with a nice bucket for the Cougars. 16-9.
The degree of difficulty was high on that shot too. That was not an easy drive shot.
Braden Flagg gets into a passing lane and deflects a pass out of bounds. It stays Glenn ball. Will inbound right in front of the New Prairie bench off to our left.
That was Ketterer's first bucket, first points of the game.
Kaiser will inbound. And he'll get it to Carter Young. Now to Kaiser, back to the top to Carter. Carter is going to be my X factor for John Glenn down the stretch. They're going to need to get him more touches. Here's Frankowitz for 3 in the corner. No good. The loose ball taken away by New Prairie. Ketterer winds up with the outlet. 3-on-2. Pull up from the elbow. Missed it. Rebound. Saved by Barker. And Corey will let all the bodies pass and then dump it off to Kaiser. Now in the front court, Young. Back to Kaiser. Top of the key to Barker at the elbow. Kicked along to Young on the right side again. Over to Kaiser. Zips it over to Porter. Down low at the block, Frankowitz. Bad pass. Barker tried to get it back. Could not. And now here's New Prairie on the counter. Then a bad lead to Ketterer, who saved it out of bounds with a no-look pass. Taken away by Carter Young. And a whistle sounds and a foul on New Prairie. That'll stop the clock at 5:09 on the Reese Hearing Aid Center scoreboard. 16-9, John Glenn with the lead. That is 16 fouls now on New Prairie. Glenn with 3. Kaiser with the basketball. Handling it is Young. Worked around to Kaiser on the right angle high. Popping out Young, he gets the ball. Got to the elbow, no further. Kicked it across to Kaiser again, back to Young. Young darts through, and he is fouled on the floor. And this time, Chase Ketterer called for the foul. Clock stops at 4:52. And so that is the 7th team foul on New Prairie with 4:52 left to go in the first half. And John Glenn's going to be shooting some free throws. Ketterer picking up foul number 2 on him. So Carter Young at the charity stripe, where he comes in shooting at 63% on the season and will be looking for his 30th make. Takes a couple of dribbles, shooting, looking into the New Prairie student body, and he's going to knock down the front end. And another free throw coming for Carter. Talking about Glenn and their free throw shooting, it's been hit and miss this season. They average about 12 makes per game, getting to the line around 22 times a contest. When they're on, they can hit, and they win ball games when they do. 18-9 Glenn.
They've hit all 4 to start this game from the charity stripe.
Wow, what a deflection by Frankowitz. Leaped in the air and stopped the high-low play. Great play. And now on the offense, the Falcons. Young skips it across the Porter. Jack can't look inside. Back out it comes to Kazers. Silas reversed it back to him. Jack with a catch-and-shoot 3. Too long. And a rebound to New Prairie. Flagg will lead the charge. Flagg leans in, flipped it up, couldn't bank it home, tipped around. It's taken by Ferg. He forgot the ball, but Flagg bailed him out to get it back. Pull up from the free throw line. That's no good. Tipped around by Hunter Smith twice, 3 times. Got it a 4th and missed the bunny. This time Barker says, give me the ball. And here come the Falcons the other way. Barker to the corner to Jack Porter. Back to the top, Barker to Porter to Frankowitz at the block. Back out to Porter again, and Jack looking for a skip pass, just not there. Then he throws it away. Carter Young will touch it in the backcourt. So a miscommunication on the part of the 2 Glenn players results in a turnover. New Prairie will have the ball. Falcons get a substitution. Jack Porter checks out. And Robbie Porter back into the game. All right, it'll be Ketterer with the ball. Finding McBride. Ketterer wants to attack the middle, takes the right side of the lane, goes up with a wild shot, drew the foul. Carter Young had to leave his feet. And that'll be a Glenn turnover or Glenn foul at the 3:31 mark.
His first team score.
So to the free throw line will be Ketterer, coming into tonight's play at the stripe at 57%. And he short arms that free throw. That's been the chink in this young man's armor. The 25% of the 9 three-pointers he's made, that's just icing on a cake. But the free throws have been something that has plagued him. And that timeout by Coach Bowers here, right in the middle of a free throw attempt here for Ketterer. So with this timeout, 3:31 left to go in the second. 18-9 Glenn. More of the boys championship of the 55th annual TCU Bi-county after this 30-second timeout.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Max 98.3 brought to you in part by A&M Home Services of Lakeville and Plymouth. From roofs to basements, we've got you covered. Evan was over at the Glenn huddle. What did Coach Hanna have to say?
Tony, Coach Hanna told his boys on offense they've got to shorten the passes. New Prairie's length is going to get those deflections if they throw passes across the court.
All right, Ketterer will get ready to shoot the back half of his free throws here. Coming off that New Prairie timeout. Couldn't bank it in. And the rebound comes right to Smith, who got rejected. And a jump ball call. Possession stays to New Prairie. Well, we mentioned how size and the athleticism of the bigs are going to play, what role they're going to play. And You've kind of seen it already, Duke.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are really elevating off the floor. And like you said, Ketterer, he's got to hit some free throws. And then leaving points to the charity stripe going to be huge, especially for New Prairie trying to get back in it. They're trailing 9 already.
Frankowitz tries to get a steal out high for Glenn and gets called for the contact. Stops the clock at 3:23 on the Reese Hearing Aid Center scoreboard. Reese Hearing Aid Center, located at 322 North Michigan Street in Plymouth. In February, don't miss their inventory reduction sale from the 17th through the 19th. Reese Hearing Aid Center. Hear what you've been missing. Ketterer gets it off to the left side. McBride goes in, shovels it underneath. Up strong goes Hunter Smith, and he can't complete. Glenn grabs the miss. Kaiser kind of bumped into his own man, Robbie Porter, there, but stayed still without traveling. Porter, one-on-one against Daniels. And now it's going to be Barker to Frankowitz on the perimeter. Young to the corner, Kaiser. Silas with nothing to shoot at, so now to Young. He attacks the right paint, kicks it over to an open Porter. His three up and scores. Robbie Porter knocking it down, 21-9 Glenn. Here's Flag for an answer. He shoots and scores from the right wing. 21-12. Big bucket for New Prairie there. Kaiser to Robbie Porter. Trailing is Kaiser, who caught it still in the back court. The VAR official made that call. Travis is not upset with the call. He's upset with the fact that there was no reason to throw it to the trailer, who was still behind the timeline.
Yeah, those are the plays that people forget about, but that's the kind of thing that can, turn the tide.
McBride at the top of the key for the Cougars. Work to the left wing side to Hunter Smith. Now to Flag, left elbow jumper. Couldn't get it to roll. Big board by Corey Barker. Here come the Falcons back in the offense. Now to Robbie underneath to Frankie. Goes up on a shot fake, got blocked. Here's New Prairie on the counter. Is Ferg able to give it to Ketterer. Ketterer on the run. Young staying with him. Now Ketterer will go to the baseline. Goes up strong with a power move and scores. Chase Ketterer. And now it's 21-14 as New Prairie looks for some momentum. Young to Barker, back out to Frankowitz, just got the pass off to Silas, and now back into the hands of Robbie Porter. Out of the corner, he throws it back to Kaiser. Silas returns it back to Robbie, right wing. And he'll dribble it out to the middle. Barker goes down low to Robbie, kicks it back out Frankowitz, over to Young. Carter traveled on his way to the bucket. This will be the third straight possession. Glenn comes up with nothing. And the last two have seen points go on the board for the Cougars. And it could happen again here.
Falcons miscue is starting to mount up now. They've got 6 in the game.
Well, recognizing that is Travis Hanna of John Glenn, and he's going to call a timeout with 1:29 left to go here in the first half. 21-14 Glenn. We're coming back with more of our 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament. It's the boys championship on Max 98.3 and LVH1.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Well, the Bremen Lady Lions, they became back-to-back Bi-county champions with their 31-22 win over Triton in game 1 tonight. Here on the boys' side, 21-14 Glenn as we resume play here in this first half that has 1:14 left in it. Spinning in is Hunter Smith, and the lefty hooked it in. That's a nice bucket. Now it's 21-16. Here's Frankowitz on the right wing side finding Young. Young looks to get it to the right wing. Here's a jumper by Frankowitz. It's good. That's a big three by Frankowitz. Frankowitz knocking down his 7th outside hit of the season. 24-16 Glenn. That's a big one. And now McBride wants to drive into the paint. Slowed down there and worked over to Smith back out the perimeter. Now he'll dump it off the Flag, who's trying to get by Barker. Barker using his long reach to slow down the drive. And almost gets a steal. The Flag stays with it. Over to McBride. McBride attacks the elbow, then brings it back out the Flag again. Flag spinning, going in strong, managed to get a shot away, no good. Ferg misses once, then the second time he finishes. So Evan Ferg wins the board battle. It's 24-18, down to 15 seconds to go here in the half. Young with 12. Young with 10. Barker out to Silas. Now worked over to Robbie Porter 8. Robbie Porter 7. Robbie Porter 6. Robbie Porter 4 with a 3. It's short. The rebound, Frankowitz with 1. Off the rim, no good. What an exciting first half of basketball here at the 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament. Coach Bowers is with Evan Mangus courtside.
Thanks, Tony. Coach, in that first half, you guys were getting a lot of quality looks, just the ball wasn't falling through the hoop.
Yeah, that's a great analysis right there. I like what we did. I like where we're at. I mean, I don't think there's really any big halftime changes. I mean, we got to knock in some shots and rebounding. We gave up a couple offensive rebounds I wasn't too happy with, but other than that, we played all right.
So what would be the key going into the second half down 6 right now?
Shooting confidence and rebounding. Those will be my two biggest ones. That's what I'll be talking to them about.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Tony.
All right, a very classy coach, and Coach Bowers of New Prairie, as this team is down 24-18 here at halftime. Our halftime brought to you by Oliver Ford Lincoln. When we come back, we'll take a look at numbers and to get you ready for the second half action, so don't go away. More of the BiCounty.
What's included in the price of a ticket when you attend a high school athletic event? For starters, greater opportunities for our kids.
He catches it, and it's complete at the 5-yard line.
Putting today's young people on the pathway to success, inspiring them to never give up, encouraging them to always do their best, teaching them how to be better leaders. It's all included in the price of admission when you go to an IHSAA athletic event. All you have to do is buy a ticket.
I can do that.
High school sports. We pay, they play, everybody wins. This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
What's included in the price of a ticket?
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives you business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you are interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
Hey Lancers, are you looking to work for a big corporation, own your own business, take stats for a professional sports team, or handle money? Well, I'm here to tell you about DECA. I'm Trinity Cox, and I'm the Vice President of Hospitality and Tourism for our school's DECA chapter. I've been a part of DECA for 2 years now, and I've had the time of my life here. I've competed at both district and state level last year, and look to go back again this year. You have the chance to compete as a solo event or be a part of a team decision-making event. DECA has really opened up my eyes to a different aspect of business and has helped me grow as a human being. DECA will help you grow into a young, mature adult if you join, just like it has helped me. You will have the chance to make tons of new friends as we are a growing chapter and look to continue to grow for the future. If you are a sophomore through a senior and would like to join DECA, come talk to the chapter advisor, Mr. Thomas, today and start your journey.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
So it's tough to get much going. I know in the first quarter, Glenn tried to feed the ball to Hannah, and there's just some big bodies in there, Tony, going after each other, and so it's tough to convert, even though those are some good opportunities in close.
All right, you got some numbers for us there, pal?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, when you look at John Glenn, they were just 3 of 10 shooting in the second quarter, but they're 7 of 10 shooting the basketball in the game, and they've got, as we talked about during the broadcast, they've got 4 different players that have hit triples. Not only that, but they've had 6 3-pointers. So 6 of their 7 field goals are from long range, and that's really the story so far. By contrast, New Prairie just has 2 3-pointers, those both coming from Brandon Flagg. So, you know, right there you're looking at 18-6 in the 3-point scoring column. And Glenn also got to the charity stripe 4 times in the second quarter, knocked down all 4 of them. New Prairie is just 2 of 4 at the foul line. So some important numbers. We said New Prairie was 5 of 13 in the second quarter. That makes them, just adding up here, 7 of 23 for their game. So they're not, you know, shooting the basketball like I'm sure Coach Bauer would like them to, but I think he'll still take some of those good looks and see how things turn out in the second half. I would expect, too, that you know, Glenn will try to work that inside-outside game more. They got to halftime with Hannah only having the 2 fouls, so he should be in pretty good shape if he doesn't pick up that 3rd personal early on. But again, I look for, you know, what a tournament Corey Barker's had so far. He sits at 8 points here for Glenn, leads all scorers. They've got 6 points from Robbie Porter on 2 triples. Carter Young's got 5. Then Jake Frankowitz has got 3, and 2 points for Bryson Hanna before he went to the bench in the first quarter of foul trouble. New Prairie's got 6 points from Flagg, 6 points from Ferg, and 4 points from Ketterer, 2 points from Hunter Smith. So again, Glenn holds a 24-18 lead, setting up for a great second half with the Bi-county Championship at stake.
Evan Mangus is going to be talking with Coach Travis Hanna as he's making his way out of the locker room with his troops, who find themselves up 24-18. I'm kind of anxious to see what he's got to say about his team's outside shooting. It seems that they're getting some good, comfortable looks out there, and now maybe comfortable not necessarily being the operative word, but they're moving the ball very well, which of course is always a great sign facing a team of this nature. So here's Evan right now with Coach Travis Hanna of John Glenn.
Thanks, Tony. Coach, your team was on fire from outside. That first half hit 6 threes. Talk about that offensive performance of your boys so far.
Well, the ball went in the basket, which is what we needed to do, and we were a little surprised they came out in the zone, which encourages us, because that means they don't think they can guard us in the post. So hopefully we continue to move the ball. That's the big thing. We got to make sure we keep moving the ball inside out from side to side.
Outside of scoring more points than them in the second half, what is going to be key for you guys?
Well, we've got to do a better job on the glass. You know, they got some offensive rebounds there. We turned the ball over too many times. We got to be better on the offensive glass, not allow ourselves to get blocked out, and we have to score more points than they do.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Tony.
Oh, that wise old Al.
I love him. Gotta love him. All right, we're going to take a minute break. Come back with the second half. John Glenn on top of New Prairie, 24-18. This is the TCU Bi-county basketball tournament of X 98.3 Sports.
Sportside Marina.
1 minute.
Water recreation.
The national organization is dedicated to making a positive difference in the
the lives of students by developing the potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. In FFA, you get hands-on experience in the trades and get to be a part of the community. You should join LaVille FFA. Bye, Lancers!
John Glenn has the lead over the New Prairie Cougars in the boys contest. And if you just missed us earlier in the first game, the Bremen Lions are 31-22 winners over the Triton Lady Trojans to claim their second consecutive Bi-county basketball tournament title. So congratulations to Alex Robinson and his girls, and they'll be getting ready. Very interested for them to get ready for the draw tomorrow to see who they're going to get. And that Bremen team right now, they got some really good players. They may have had an off shooting night tonight, but they did everything else right to get that win, which is what good teams find ways to do. All right, second half, Doug, your thoughts of what's going to happen?
Again, just New Prairie's got to find the shooting touch, and it'll be interesting, like Travis Hanna said, does John Glenn's offense work inside, outside? If it does, John Glenn's going to be Bi-county champs.
On the far side, Robbie Porter, as they shoot to the basket to our right. Hanna got it out to Kaiser. Young for a three, and he misses. The rebound tipped around. Taken by Robbie Porter. Up strong, and he finishes. Robbie Porter makes it a 26-18 Glen lead. Well, he said that Carter Young was going to be an important cog in making this a possible back-to-back championship performance for Glen. Look for him to see some more touches and probably more opportunities to shoot. Ketterer gets to the right elbow, has to pull the ball back and gives it to Flagg. Flagg will now hand it to McBride. Kicked it back to Hunter Smith. He's still outside the perimeter. Now to Flagg. Can't fire his shot. He's going to attack the lane. Flip up it. Missed it. And taken by Robbie Porter. Glenn off that miss. Carter Young on the run. Carter backing in. Forgot the ball. Gets it back. Finds Robbie. Robbie over to Silas. To the right corner. Corey three. Barker hits again. Corey Barker makes it 29-18 Glen. So now New Prairie will go back in the offense. Flagg will get it to Ketterer at the top. He attacks that right side of the paint. Forgot the basketball, but got it back. And now he needs someone to outlet, and Hunter Smith in the neighborhood. Now to McBride, right in front of his coach Bowers. McBride near the back volleyball line, gets it over to Ketterer. Ketterer to McBride, top of the key, guarded by Kaiser. McBride takes him, dropped it back out to Ketterer, the trail. Ketterer looking for a high screen, doesn't have a shot, lobs it underneath, and overshot is marked, trying to find Evan Ferg. Ferg comes in at 6'7". That was about a 7-foot pass. It's a pass for a 7-footer. And so 2 minutes into this third, Glen the ball and a 29-18 lead. Carter Young will take the basketball for the Falcons. And it's going to be to Robbie Porter, and we got a whistle here and a timeout. I think an official spots something on the court here. Yes, indeed. And so he's going to pick up whatever it is. And so he'll place it. And so we'll resume action. It'll be an inbound near the Glen bench off to our right with Silas Kaiser to throw it in. And it'll be handled by Robbie Porter, giving it over to Silas again. Kaiser in between the back volleyball line and the timeline. Finding Porter, back to Silas. This time he's over in the right corner. To the top, Robbie hopping into the lane. Pass fake, gets it off to Kaiser, who now will dribble it to the top of the key. Now it's on the left side to Barker. Out of the corner he dribbles, finding Young. Right back to Barker in the reverse. Down low at the left block. Pull up jumper Robbie Porter. Too long, and a rebound yanked down by Smith. Led ahead to Ketterer. He's going to speed it up here. Now he's going to take his man on with a bank shot. Missed it. Tipped around. Retaken by Robbie Porter. Falcons back the other way. Robbie across the timeline. Robbie stops on a dime at the elbow and brings it out. Able to find Carter Young. Porter now to the right side. Silas slowed down by the top of the 2-3 zone shown by New Prairie. Silas has it again. Kaiser works it around to Young. Young at the left elbow brings it over to Porter one more time. Robbie gets a new play call from Coach Travis Hanna. And now to Carter Young into the post. Hanna finds his cutter. Salas Kaiser for two. Boy, that was a beautiful slip down there by Kaiser. 31-18 Glenn. All right, now it's just about execution, and Glenn's not doing much wrong in that department.
They certainly are not. Like you said, that was a beautiful slip. Great pass by Glenn, and extend the lead to 13.
On that right side, it's Ferg getting it off to their top player, and Braden Flagg, and he's going to drive in from that right side for a layup. And now it's back to an 11-point lead for Glenn as Robbie Porter will make it 13 as he hits the left elbow jumper. 33-20 Falcons. You know, sometimes I get caught up just watching the play and some of the athleticism that I forget I got to call the game. Here's a right elbow jumper by McBride, and that's a beauty. They'll knock that one down. 33-22. Under 4 now to go into third. Robbie Porter down low to Hanna. Double teamed off the ball, and he coughed it up. And here comes New Prairie on the counter. Right side to Ketterer. Lobs it ahead for Smith. Broken up by Robbie Porter, who got back defensively to knock it out of bounds. Boy, that was some great effort right there by Robbie Porter. Breaking up what should have been an easy layup. Kaiser's going to check out of the game, and Noah Abreu will come in. Noah put in some good minutes last night in the LaVille win for John Glenn. Off his screen, McBride stopped at the left side of the paint. Kicked it out to Ketterer, uses a high screen. Free throw line jumper, doesn't drop. Abreu comes away with it. Noah's on the run, dribbles across the timeline. Noah to the right side of Carter Young. Now to the post up hand, a down strong offensive foul on Bryson. Coach Hanna not happy with that call, but not happy with Bryson either for lowering his shoulder. So that is Bryson's third foul. 11 points the lead for Glenn, and now it's going to be New Prairie ball. Daniels get it worked around to the corner to Ketterer. McBride with a touch. Left angle high, guarded by Barker. Now to the right side, Daniels to the right corner, Ketterer. Goes right baseline, starts up, goes strong and scores. Why, great recognition by Ketterer. 33-24, 9 points the difference. Abreu worked around the Young out of the corner. He goes left baseline for a very strong move for two. Carter Young. 35-24 Glenn. So both teams now exchanging buckets.
And we're seeing something develop that happened last night where Glenn answered all LaVille's buckets, starting to do the same thing.
Oh, a beautiful running floater by Derek Daniels, and the sophomore averaging only a point a game. Just scored his 17th of the season. Now it's 35-26. 9 points the difference. Glenn ball on the baseline. Young finds his cutter. Broken up by Daniels, who read the lane. And now to Ketterer on the run. Gets by Abreu. Behind the back dribble, but he blew the layup. Got too fancy and missed it. And now here's the dump off to Carter Young. Shot fake block. Got it back. Score! Carter Young and a timeout. John Glenn. 37-26 Falcons. A minute 58 left in the third. It's the boys championship game at the 55th annual TCU Bi-county, and we continue after this 30-second timeout.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
JC Gear, your local hometown sports store, now located at 214 North Michigan Street in beautiful downtown Plymouth. Now buying and selling used sporting goods. Stop by and get cash on the spot for your gently used sporting goods, cleats, and athletic shoes. Mention the Max Special and receive 10% off your order. Here's a running layup off the timeout by Ketterer, and Glenn trails 37-28. Glenn back on the offense. Abriel with the ball. Still looking, reversed it back into Jack Porter's hands and gets a return pass in the corner. Plays catch with Robbie. Robbie now says, I'm done with that. Kicks it over to Abriel on the left side, top of the key. Noah now to Robbie. Robbie dumps it off to Jack on the trail. Back to the right corner, Robbie. Lobs it back to Jack, top of the key. Near Robbie again. Robbie to the middle, Barker. Back out to Robbie. And finally, into the hands of Abriel. Over to the left corner, Jack Porter. Dribbles it back out. Robbie Porter has the ball with a minute left to go here in the third. 37-28, Glenn with the lead. And the basketball. Abriel. Back to Porter. Porter got Daniels on him with no count. Now worked over to Abriel, right side. Trying to find Hannah on the post up, and the ball gets kicked on the entry feed by Hunter Smith of New Prairie. So the clock stops at 44.5 seconds. Hunter Smith will check out of the game, and it looks like it will be Devin Zalay to check in. Here's a quick inlet pass to Barker. Kicked it back out to the corner. A three ball by Jack Porter. No good. And the rebound chased down by Ketterer. With 36 seconds, he's across the timeline. Ketterer goes in for the drive. The bank shot, no. Foul on John Glenn. Boy, did Bryson just pick up another foul? Nope, that's going to go against Abriel. Travis is going to get a substitution in. And I think Abriel will be the one coming out.
Glenn having trouble with that Ketterer, and starts off on the right side and just dribble drives. Yep.
He just powers his way in. Ketterer at the line is going to knock it down. It's been this kid's bugaboo, but as long as he's hitting in the game like this, Coach Bowers ain't going to mind the fact that he has been known to struggle from the free throw line.
If you're defending him, you got to overplay him, make him go left. Easier said than done, but still, he loves to go to his right.
Ketterer at the free throw line fires, and that's going to roll in. So now it's a 7-point difference. New Prairie just keeps chipping away as Ketterer checks out, and Moreno comes in for him. Falcons will go the length of the court here, trying to break some token pressure. Looking to trap it right at midcourt, but that's going to be nullified by the Falcons ball handling. Robbie Porter with it on the right wing side. Top of the key to Barker. Into the middle of Hannah. Back out to Robbie again. 16 seconds left in the third. Falcon ball. Carter Young with 13. Carter stops at the elbow. Now to Bryson. A long three by Bryson. Good! Oh, is that a clutch hit by Bryson Hannah? 37-30 Glenn. 2 seconds left. 1 second. Broken up by Carter Young. He shoots at the horn. It's not going to count. Boy, a big hit for Bryson Hannah. Just to show you how big that is Bryson's second attempt from outside, his first 10 of the season, and it's a 10-point difference going into the fourth in the boys championship game of the TCU Bi-county basketball tournament, where Glenn leads 40-30. Back after this timeout.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Gymnasium. It's been another great year for the TCU Bi-county basketball tournament. And we come down to the fourth quarter, and even though 10 points may seem a lot, it truly isn't the way these two teams can score in bunches in a very quick fashion. So this is going to be an excitable fourth quarter in this boys championship game. Glenn leading 40-30. New Prairie ball as Ketterer has it. Evan, you were during that in that huddle. What was said by Coach?
Tony, Coach Bauer just told his guys they've got to get stops and rebound on defense. It doesn't matter what they do on offense if they can't stop Glenn.
So New Prairie runs the offense. Moreno has the ball top of the key, uses a high screen, attacks it to the right block, stop there. Has to stay strong with the ball as a bunch of hands come in on him, and a double dribble is going to get called on Tanner Moreno. So the Falcon defense creates a turnover.
Glenn hit 7 of 11 shots from the floor in that third quarter, Tony.
Silas has the basketball across the timeline. He'll find Robbie Porter. Now to Barker. To Porter again. He attacks right side with a floater. Scores! Robbie Porter. Here come the Falcons back on defense as now the Cougars need to get some offense going. Ketterer with a spin move. Can't dump it off. Waits for help. It's in McBride. McBride cuts to the paint. Stop there. Now to Hunter Smith. To Ketterer on the right angle high. Ketterer wants to attack. He's going to bury himself underneath deep. Nice kick out to find McBride. McBride to the free throw line. Shot fake, lean in, and he can't get the roll. Tipped around out of Barker's hands. It'll stay New Prairie ball.
I think the story's been Glenn's defense. Just hand up in everybody's face.
I agree.
Just everywhere. Sure, New Prairie's missing some shots, but
they have been contested.
Yep.
New Prairie looks to inbounds. Hannah tried to go for the steal. That allows Ferg to come through. Goes in strong. An offensive foul on Ferg as Robbie Porter just took one for the Falcons. Great defensive effort there. Ferg comes down, and he's hurt. He's hurt where you don't want to be hurt. Coach Bowers goes over to talk to him. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Apparently Ferg took a knee. Ouch. That's all I got to say.
Got that right. Ouch.
All I got to say. 12-point advantage for the Falcons on this offensive possession. On the right wing side, Silas Kaiser gets to Carter Young, over to Robbie Porter. Zips it to the corner again, and then Kaiser will get it back to Porter. Porter dumps it off to Young. Young stopped at the block, has to pull it back outside the perimeter. Barker gives it over to Kaiser, who gives it now to Young. Young stopped at the right elbow, tries to use a high screen by hand. That doesn't, nothing flourishes from it. And now worked over to Kaiser again. Kaiser on the right angle high with 6:10 and counting to go in the game. Driving through his Robbie Porter, and it's a foul on the floor against New Prairie.
Number 22.
That foul will go against New Prairie's Rylan McBride. That's his first. Each team now with 2 fouls. 2 minutes into the fourth. The lob out high. Barker wins that battle. Kicking it over to Robbie for 3, and Robbie Porter missed it. Good box out by Soleil, and New Prairie has a chance to cut into this deficit. Right now, it's 12. I'll tell you, they've done a really good job also on New Prairie's scoring stud, that being Flag, as he throws up a jumper and misses. And the rebound comes to Hannah, and the Falcons with possession again. With the basketball, this is going to be Salas trying to get it over to Barker, and Barker got fouled out high by Flag, and that's going to stop the clock at 5:34.
The second team's third.
Only had 5 fouls called this whole second half on the 2 teams combined.
It's been a fun game to watch, but I tell you, it's been fun watching this Glenn team do about every aspect of their game correctly. Salas, Kaiser will throw it into the corner, handled by Young, denied the baseline. Now work back to Porter. Handing off to Kaiser, right wing side to Young again. Young wants to dribble to the top, able to find Robbie Porter. Porter goes to the corner, Barker. Barker, with an errant pass, and Carter Young just happened to be in the neighborhood and saved a turnover. Now Kaiser to the middle, Hannah. Hannah battling hard underneath with McBride.
What a battle. Those two really going at it.
They are. Kaiser trying to break free of him, does. Now has the ball. Kaiser got by McBride on the move. Trailing to Young, spin move, puts it up, got fouled. Carter Young. That foul goes against New Prairie's Riley McBride. Clock stops at 4:55 left to go here in the game. Carter Young at the free throw line. First free throw, no good. Carter Young coming into tonight's play right at 63% shooting from the line. John Glenn 61% as a team. Second free throw coming. And that is good for Carter Young. So 43-30.
Tell you what,
Glenn with the
Tony,
lead.
Flagg came out of the lineup and was not too happy about it, and Coach Bauer sort of put him in his place pretty fast.
Driving through Ketterer, but he couldn't muscle it up. And that's going to be a foul on Ketterer, who tried to get his steal back, but he slapped from behind. And it's going to be a New Prairie foul. That's 5 team fouls now on New Prairie. Here we go as the Falcons get the inbound. Barker to Young, back to Barker. Robbie Porter doesn't cross the timeline yet, finally does. He's going to see a trap, and it got deflected by Hunter Smith out of bounds. Down to 4:28. Robbie Porter looks to inbound. Taken there by Kaiser. Work to the right corner. Young on a catch, save in midair. Threw it to Hanna, but it got knocked away by New Prairie out of bounds.
You look at Travis Hanna, you wouldn't know he's up double digits. You would think he's down double digits.
Here we go with the inbound for Glenn. The lob out. Nice grab by Young. Caught it in the backcourt, so we'll have to cross the timeline. Bryson Hanna with it. Robert Porter, now to Hanna. Hanna looks to reverse it back to Porter, far side. Now to Barker in the corner. Back out to Robbie again. Carter with a touch to Robbie. Over to Corey. Back to Robbie. Robbie Porter. Now to Kaiser. Kaiser gets it over to Young. Carter Young, one-on-one with under 4 minutes to go in the game. Glenn up 43-30. Carter drives in. Nice move. Scores and draws the foul. Carter Young. That's a couple of acrobatic buckets for Carter tonight. And now it's a 45-30 Glenn advantage. So Young will go to the charity stripe. And his free throw. Good. The and one makes it a 16-point lead now for John Glenn. 46-30 over New Prairie. Pull-up jumper by Ketterer. That's no good either. All alone is Porter for the ball. Right now you can feel this game slipping away from New Prairie as the Falcons just doing everything right, as we mentioned.
New Prairie hasn't scored in the fourth quarter.
Right now the Falcons playing keep away. And it's in the right corner to Carter Young. He goes baseline, puts up a wild shot, almost got it to roll, but an offensive foul is going to be called on Carter Young here. Travis goes over to Carter. Encourages him for a little bit. So New Prairie ball. Ketterer hands it off. Gets it to McBride, who then able to hit Daniels. Daniels, nice little cut by Smith. Dumped it off to the near wing to McBride. And one more time, Ketterer. To McBride. McBride to the right elbow. Reverse to the near side. Ketterer. Ketterer wants to attack that lane. Slips and falls. Has to throw up a wild shot and missed it. He shot it as he was falling down. Falcons come away with the miss. We're under 3 to go in the game. John Glenn looking to win back-to-back Bi-county titles. Here's a travel call on Robbie Porter. Good defense by Chase Ketterer of New Prairie.
Tony Flagg is still on the bench, and he is not too happy.
So, with 2:50 left to go here in the fourth, Ketterer has the basketball. Ketterer. He'll drive to the left paint, kick it out to McBride. McBride slowed down by Barker. McBride kicked to an open quarter. Ketterer a three. That's a no good. And the rebound deflects out of bounds. And that's going to be off of New Prairie. And the Falcons grab the ball once again and will have an inbound coming up. So Silas Kaiser will bring it across the timeline. 2.5 left to go in the game. Kaiser spinning. Kicks it to the near side to Robbie Porter. Robbie, who's had another excellent performance tonight. To Kaiser. Circles the wagons to the right side and keeps it outside the perimeter with a pass to Young. Finding Porter again on the left wing side. Robbie spinning off his man. Tries to dump it off, does. A return pass finds Kaiser, who gets it back to Barker on the reverse. Swung around Bryson, and now Carter Young with a touch under 2 to go. Now to Bryson underneath. Great control, found a man underneath the Kaiser, who scored. That had to be a perfect low pass to connect and work, and it did.
Great
now
court vision, too.
Marino goes in strong, and he's called for the offensive foul. Clock stops at a minute 47. 48-30 Glenn. So the Falcons are a minute 40 away from taking the boys title. This is Carter Young now to the top.
How about that series by Hanna? Great pass to Kaiser. Then he goes down on the other end, takes a charge. Not bad for a freshman.
Nope. Hanna gets it to Kaiser, top of the key, picking up. Kaiser with the ball, down to a minute 18 left. Guarded by Ketterer. Trying to foul him, just can't reach him, and now Young. Daniels all over him. Again, no whistle. Robbie Porter takes it. Bullis one to Barker. Now to Kaiser to the far corner, Young. Falcons just playing keep away, and I think that's how this game's going to finish here in the final 58 seconds. Travis Hanna still shouting encouragement. Falcons with the ball. Robbie Porter looks at the official for a count. Gets one. Now Corey Barker with it. Down to 39 seconds left. On the left wing side. It's handled by Robbie Porter. Over in the corner, Silas. Now the lob. Robbie Porter to the near side. Carter Young, 22 seconds left. Now at the top of the key, Robbie Porter. Down to 17 seconds. Carter Young able to get it to Robbie Porter all alone. And boy, Kaiser could have took the layup. He didn't. Falcons just going to wear down the rest of this clock. And the John Glenn Falcons are back-to-back Bi-county champions. The final score, 48-30. Glenn with the victory. They improved to 12 wins and 3 losses on the campaign. The Cougars fall to 8-6. A complete 4-quarter performance by Travis Hanna's boys. And they pick up another big win on their schedule again. They'll have a rematch on the 31st when that game will be played at the Falcons' Nest. Evan Mangles will be talking with Coach Bowers here in just a few moments.
Glenn pitched a shutout in the 4th quarter defensively.
Yes, sirree. All right, Evan's got Coach Bowers.
Thanks, Tony. Coach, it just seemed like it was one of those games where Glenn was able to hit everything and the shots just wouldn't fall for you guys.
Again, another very good analysis on your part. Tonight wasn't our night. There were probably things as a coach I could have done better, we got to put the ball in the hole, and we weren't able to do that tonight. So.
Despite it being a frustrating game, your boys played to the final buzzer, even during that final minute when Glenn was just trying to keep the ball out of your hands. But talk about the effort by your guys tonight.
Yeah, there's no quitting our guys. I mean, they're proud young men. They want to compete. They want to get after it. And just like I said, it was a rough night, especially on the offensive end. I mean, you tell me we hold Glenn to 48, I think we're in the game. So, I mean, defensively, I thought we did all right. Just couldn't score tonight.
Well, obviously tonight didn't go your way, but you get a rematch with Glenn within a week. What's going to be the approach going into that game?
Well, we'll watch this film and see what we can't do. We would have rather had this one than the one Friday, this coming Friday. But we'll regroup and we'll go down to Walkerton and see if we can get a little payback.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Tony.
All right, the final score, 48-30. Glenn gets the win over New Prairie. We'll head courtside talking with the victorious Falcons and their head coach. Don't go away. It's coming up next, all part of the Ponderosa Steakhouse postgame show.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
Ponderosa post-game show once again.
All right, welcome courtside as we welcome you to the Ponderosa Steakhouse postgame show as a wonderful victory here tonight for the John Glenn Falcons. And Robbie Porter joins us, ends up being the TCU Bi-county player of the tournament. And boy, I tell you, well-deserved, son.
It was hard fought. All the teams that we played, all Bi-county, it was really tough. And just congratulations to all those guys as well. They all fought, and all my teammates behind me, they all fought, and we got it done back-to-back.
Kind of emotional here, isn't it, baby?
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling. It really is.
You know, this is always a tournament, even maybe beyond a little bit, circling the sectionals. But the Bi-county tournament means an awful lot, especially with our area schools. And to win this back-to-back times, man, this has got to feel pretty special.
It's amazing. I really still can't believe it right now. I'm just trying to take it all in.
You know, this was a New Prairie team that was going to present some problems for you guys, size, athleticism, and yet you still managed to maintain the pace. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, they had great size, and they played their asses off. We just came in with a game plan, we came ready to go, and in the end we executed and we got it done.
What do you like about this group?
The will to fight, the will to never stop. We had moments where we faced some issues and we still got it done. We still kept on fighting, and at the end we prevailed.
All right, buddy, go enjoy this. Go cut down some net.
Will do, thank you.
All right, Robbie Porter joining us here on our post-game show. As if we can get, we're going to just go dive it in here, man. I don't care where we're at, but Corey Parker, he is here with us, and we're going to grab him real quick. And Corey, congratulations, baby.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, let's say face our camera for our LVH1 listeners up there up top. And, you know, congratulations, my friend. This has got to feel good. I want to talk about your game, though. You look like a complete different player this year. And I say this because I am seeing so much confidence in everything that you're doing. Not just shooting, because we know you can shoot the basketball, but every other element in your game right now, it's clicking. And has it been like that for you all season?
No, at the beginning of the season was kind of slow for me, but as I get my senior year coming to an end, I'm like, I got to actually play. I got to lock it in. I got to focus. So.
Coach says sometimes you tend to be your own worst enemy because you like being a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know, you got pretty damn close to being perfection with your game here during this tournament.
Pursuit of perfection is the only way you can almost reach it. So I'm trying, and I just got to know not to get down on myself, that everything will get better eventually.
Now, you've been part of some pretty good teams here in your career. What makes this team so special?
This year we have, as you see, like seniors all the way through freshmen. We have everybody. Everybody contributes, everybody scores, everybody does their part.
You know, and I know the sectional draw is going to be coming up before too long. Silas, don't go anywhere, son. We're going to get you here in just a second. But, you know, Corey, I'm going to tell you, you guys are going to be in the hunt for that in that sectional. And I don't know if a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, everybody's got to notice that it's a tough sectional. It's one of the hardest in the state. And we're a little bit of an underdog, but we'll be there. We'll be ready.
Yes, you will. Congratulations on this win, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Corey Barker. Silas, come here, son. Congratulations. Look at the camera for our LVH1 listener or viewers up there. I'll tell you, man, you guys fought your butts off this entire tournament.
Yeah, we have. I think we've all played well. We came together at the right time.
You know, I tell you, in talking with Coach Hanna, the one thing that he's been impressed with has been your ability to play this guard position and do it effectively. Talk a little bit about your progression this year at the position.
Well, I feel like this year he's taught me to put the ball on the floor more instead of being so quick ready to pass, and then that creates open shots for our shooters, and that's just been effective.
You know, the other thing, in talking with Doug Griffith and Evan Mangus, man, I mean, we think you right now you're probably playing about as confident as we've ever seen you play.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I've been ever since that. I had a great first game against Plymouth, and ever since then I've really. Yeah, that was a great start for me. That helped my confidence big time.
All right, what do you like about this group that's going to carry you into the postseason?
I feel like our seniors are good leaders, and I feel like they help us come together, and that's working for us.
Sure is fun watching you, son. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right. Silas joining us here, and you know, this team has got several players to deal with and talk about, and one of them I want to talk to real quick. As here he is, Travis Hanna, head coach of the John Glenn Falcons. Buddy, you did it again for a second year, man.
Feels good, Tony. When we stood here last year on the heels of losing a pretty good friend and a pretty good player, and you know, this year he was with us again. I have no doubt. It's a good one. Anytime you can win this tournament, number one, period, at all, just one time, it's great. But to do it back to back and to do it the way we did it tonight, I thought defensively we were about as good as we can be. You know, somebody just told me we pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter.
We did.
You don't see that in the Bi-county Championship very much, no matter who's playing. So I'm proud of these guys.
You know, and some of the concerns that we talked about this morning on the coaches show were the fact that, you know, you had to be concerned with their athleticism and their size combined, because they're very aggressive with what they try to accomplish. But your boys just stood right in there and did the same thing you did last night against the LaVille team, who's very aggressive. You just traded punches until you were able to pull out, and you got some big plays too. Again, another typical John Glenn game this year.
Well, how good are our seniors right now? I mean, again, Rob Porter, Corey Barker, Noah Abel comes in off the bench, and you know, we rode those guys tonight, and you got two in championship games. But you know, as I said, I thought we were very physical, and I thought I thought we did the things that we needed to do to win a basketball game. These guys executed very well, and you know, we knocked down shots when we needed to knock down shots.
Okay, now I got one question. I got one question here. Bryson.
Walking home, if that tells you anything.
Now, Bryson Hanna's here with us, and I got to ask you this. You know, this was your first three that we saw you hit this year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now your mom's been helping you with that shot, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
It's sure as hell ain't your dad.
No, it's not.
Hey, you gotta be happy though. Knowing the fact that this team once again showed that it can be a perennial top 10 contender.
Yes, very much.
What do you like about this group?
Just that we're all spread around. We go deep into the bench. We only have 3 guys on the bench, but we can go deep if we need to. And if we don't need to, they're still there if we do.
Well, I'll tell you, you don't look like a freshman. Matter of fact, I feel like a puny guy next to you, to be honest with you. And you sure don't play like a freshman, son. And so talk a little bit about your progression. How much fun has this first year been for you?
Well, it's been loads of fun. Going into the season, I didn't think that it didn't seem like I was going to gel with them that much. But then as we worked together, it seemed to just work.
All right, now that your dad's out of the picture, what's it like really playing for him? Is he that big of a jerk as we all love him for?
No. It may seem like it on the court, but then won't. And then as we go home, it's all fine.
Oh, great. Well, we love your dad. We love your family, man. And, boy, congratulations on what's been a great season so far and being part of this Bi-county title.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bryson Hanna joining us here on the post-game show presented by our good friends at the Plymouth Ponderosa. Let's got Miss Frankie come over here, baby. I mean, you know, you're another reason why this team has got another title. Back-to-back times for you getting a chance to experience this. This has got to feel great.
Oh, it's a great experience, you know, getting the police escort home. There's nothing like it. I live for it every year.
You know, talk a little bit about, this game here tonight. I mean, everybody had to chip in. You had to come off the bench, but you are putting putting in some serious minutes right now. Talk a little bit about your role, because it sure seems not only have you accepted your role, you're excelling in that role, and you're kind of taking a lot of pride in it.
Well, you know, 6-man, there's a lot of great 6 men out there, and I accept my role, and I know I got to be the spark plug off the bench, and I know I got to do every week just to help my team win more.
Well, you're doing it. Congratulations on this BiCounty tourney bid.
Thank you.
All right, there he is. Frankiewicz is here. Carter Young, we got to get Carter in here. Come here, son. Come talk to me real quick. Boy, I tell you, this is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
You know, this BiCounty tournament, you were challenged, and they understood who Carter Young was, and they really applied some pressure on you. Talk about the fact that you never wavered from the fact that, you know, you were getting challenged, because you were there and you ended up helping everybody else, and which ended up being instrumental.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys. Our scoring's really spread out this year. I think it's hard for teams to key in on one guy. Coach Han always talks up to me about playing defense, leading my offense, and I think that happened the last couple games.
What do you like about this group?
I like how we're so balanced. And really, we're just a close group of guys. We're always hanging out. It's just a lot of fun together.
Well, it sure is. Great watching you, son. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, man.
All right, there he is. Carter Young joining us here on our post-game show. We also welcome in all our viewers tuning in on LVH1, trying to grab as many as we possibly can here. And again, the John Glenn Falcons back-to-back Bi-County title champions with their victory here tonight over a very, very talented New Prairie squad. Okay, we're going to come back and get ready to wrap it up here from the friendly confines of the Dale Cox Gymnasium, as they're going to be cutting down nets here and getting everything else set up for what will be a fun race down the stretch for this John Glenn Falcon team. And so we'll come back, talk about that as well, our play of the game honors after this timeout.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you're interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
You know, everybody walks away here feeling, you know, this was a great experience, probably more than it's been in the past, just simply with everything you guys have been able to accomplish in just 1 year of from the renovation to just handling the tournament once again.
You know, it's takes a village, Tony. There's a lot of hands on deck to pull this thing off, and I just appreciate all the different people. We had numerous people step up in numerous roles to get this done, but most notably, it's really nice when you have a community that's really behind the athletics here at LaVille and providing a facility, taking this older gymnasium and renovating it to the point where it is now so we can kind of show it off a little bit, not only for our own enjoyment, but for the enjoyment of all of these communities. And this is a very special week for us. A lot of hard work, a lot of hours, but it's so worth it seeing all these kids and their families and just everybody from every different community that's involved.
Well, I know you and I have already talked about things to do to kind of tweak it, but believe me, folks, when I tell you, it's hard to tweak damn near perfection because the way this tournament's run, it's one of the better tournaments handled. And I tell you, I've been involved in my 30 years of doing sectional games to where even sectional hosts don't come close to what you guys provide. And I think that says an awful lot for the commitment to the kids.
Yeah, I appreciate that, you know, and it is about the kids and their families and their experiences. And, you know, this tournament's always a special week every January, and you know, from its founders and Dale Cox and what it means to our community is very, very special, and we don't take that lightly. And, you know, we do. We want to put on something that we would deem to be a very positive memory in all these kids. I remember when I was in high school and played in this tournament and what it meant to me and to watch my high school play in it. And, you know, it's nice. It's a very unique thing, something different than the sectional and the state tournament.
and it's got its own uniqueness, and it's very difficult to win, and that's what makes it special for everybody.
Well, on behalf of Max 98.3, we sure do appreciate what you've done with us and for us, and we will continue to be the voice of the Marshall County TCU Bi-county for as long as you'll have us. And it sure is a pleasure working with a bunch of professionals like you and yourself. And on top of that, people who have servants' hearts, and that really makes the difference in why the experience is so great here.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, Tony. And, you guys are always welcome. You do a top-shelf job for not only LaVille Athletics, but all of our athletic departments and all the kids in all these communities. And you're a very special group yourself. You do things top shelf and fit right in with what we're trying to accomplish.
All right, my friend. Great talking with you as always.
Same here.
There he is, Will Hostjauser, of course, event coordinator of the Bi-county tournament, and, of course, the athletic director here at LaVille. And all of his people need to be thanked for what they have brought to the table every year. But this year, pretty special with all the new facility, the new scoreboard, and everything. It just made this a great experience. All right, let's get to our Johnson Danielson Funeral Home play of the game. And, Doug, where you want to go with this one?
And I'll tell you what, Glenn played so well on both sides of the floor. It's really tough picking one play, but I'm going to pick that three-pointer by Hannah. I mean, his second attempt of his high school career is the first one that goes in, and 8.9 seconds. Remember, it was a 7-point game
at that time.
Before that, found the bottom of the net. So that really seized the momentum for Glenn. And of course, they never looked back in the fourth quarter. Took great care of the basketball throughout, and played so doggone well in the fourth quarter. Like Travis Hannah said, there aren't too many basketball games at any level, high school and junior high, elementary, where you shut out an opponent for a quarter, and that's what Glenn did. And to do it on this stage in a championship atmosphere, that's pretty special. But we're going to go with that three-pointer by Hannah.
That's our play of the game, brought to you by good friends at Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. We're at service beyond recognition at Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. When we come back, we'll get to our Bowen Printing players of the game, and we'll do so after this timeout.
For the kids.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
48-30 as John Glenn gets the win over the Cougars, and John Glenn improved to 12-3 on the season. The Cougars fall to 8-6. These two are going to meet one another on the 31st, which is next week, at the end of next week, and that's going to be a dandy of a game over at the Falcons' Nest. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that one's going to end up playing out after it's all said and done. All right, our players of the game, we'll start with New Prairie, brought to you by good friends at Bowen Printing, where service, smiles, and custom creations are what we specialize in since 1943. Call Dawn at Bowen Printing for all of your promotional needs. Doug?
Yeah, Chase Ketterer, there's a lot of things to like about his game. I know he didn't shoot the basketball like he would have liked tonight, but he's the only double-figure scorer for New Prairie, finishes with 10 points. He's going to be our New Prairie player of the game.
And for the victorious Falcons.
Yeah, this you got to go with the MVP, right? Robbie Porter, what a tournament. Had a dozen points tonight, 6 in each half. And not only that, as we said during the LaVille win, he distributed the basketball so well and played good defense. Just a really, really good all-around impressive game and tournament for the tournament's MVP, Robbie Porter. Well done.
So those are our players of the game, presented by good friends at Bowen Printing. When we come back, we wrap it up here from the Daley Cox Gymnasium and another edition of the TCU Bi-county after this 30-second timeout.
Has the cost of your printing company handcuffed you financially? Are you tired of them missing your deadlines?
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back here to the Ponderosa Steakhouse postgame show as we wrap it up here at the Dale E. Koch Gymnasium for the 55th annual TCU Bi-county basketball tournament, which comes to an end. The Bremen Lady Lions, they defeated Triton earlier on today. Back-to-back titles now, and well, we can say the same for John Glenn's boys team as they get the victory here tonight, 48-30 over New Prairie. They're going to get a big old fire truck parade in Walkerton on their way home, and that's always a blast when that happens, and make no mistake about it, they'll be enjoying this one as well. Well, you know, we saw some great basketball once again this year, Doug, for our tournament play, and you know, our championship games tonight were pretty good. I mean, Triton, you know, they scratched and clawed in that early game against Bremen in the girls matchup. Bremen's just that good. Even when they're having an off night, they still find ways to hold off and win.
You got that right. No surprise, really, when you look at how the brackets unfolded. The two hottest teams coming into this tournament end up cutting down the nets. The Lady Lions, of course, came, I think it's fair to say they were the favorite, maybe not the prohibitive favorite, but again, they're the defending champs, just like John Glenn. And you look at the history of this Bi-county tournament, you don't have too many back-to-back champions just because of how you cycle through players on the high school end. So, you know, can't say enough about the job Bremen's Lady Lions did, and of course the John Glenn Falcons on the boys' side. Very special to repeat as champions, as both those programs did.
Yeah, and once again, we have an amazing Bi-county tournament. Never fails to disappoint. There's always great basketball being played, and like Doug said, it's not surprising to see both these teams, both defending champs, coming in and winning again. But it wasn't without they had to work for it. Both teams really had to grind throughout the tournament. They faced some really good teams, and even though, I mean, New Prairie had an off night tonight, but those first three quarters they really stuck with Glenn and really gave Glenn some problems. But in the end, they were able to finish that fourth quarter strong and just kind of run away with it.
And, of course, on the boys' side tonight, we mentioned, Doug, a little bit ago about this John Glenn team. I love what I see out of this particular group, man. And, you know, their schedule is not going to be easy here down the stretch when you look at it. I mean, they still got a host of games left on the docket, including 6 conference games still slated on their schedule, starting with South Bend, Washington on the 28th, and then New Prairie on the 31st. And then it's Adams, and then they'll have a non-conference game against Concord, wrapping it up with St. Joe, Mishawaka, and South Ben Riley. But I'll tell you, if any team has proven to be up for this test, it's been this Falcon team.
They'll be ready come sectional time, won't they, Tony? And again, they're red hot now. They leave this Bi-county tournament winners of 8 of 9 games and just rolling. So it'll be interesting here as we end January and obviously through the month of February how things wrap up. But I like a lot of things about this John Glenn team. I mean, the way they get after it on defense, that's special. That is special. And when you play defense like that, you can make a lot of noise in the postseason. And I know their sectional's awfully tough, but you know, when you've got a 6'8" kid like Barker that can step out and bury triple after triple, and you can go inside to Hannah, and then you've got point or guard play like the Falcons do. They got a lot of things to make a coaching staff pretty happy.
Well, and they beat a hell of a New Prairie team. You know, New Prairie is a very solid program. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I love Mike Bauer. That guy's a class coach. He's going to get that program in tip-top shape here before too long. And he's definitely got the kids to make that all happen. And I really like the direction they're going. So, you know, they're going to be a sectional pain in the butt for somebody as well after it's all said and done. So, I mean, good luck to them, too, because they were sure fun to watch, especially with their cast that they got on that roster and the way they got to the championship game, too, which was pretty impressive. So we saw once again just another great year of basketball for this year's Bi-county basketball tournament, and it was just an awful lot of fun to do it. Tonight, though, it's a little bittersweet for us. We're going to say goodbye to our buddy Evan Mangus here. He's going to head back to college, and young man, we wish you the best of luck. You did a great job. We had a lot of wonderful compliments about what you were able to do in such a short amount of time, and thank you for being part of our broadcast. We sure are going to miss you, though.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. And it's been an honor to be able to work with you, learn from you. I really enjoyed getting some tips on sideline reporting and just being able to be a part of this broadcast. I mean, when you came down and interviewed me after our regional win against football, just gave me all the more motivation to want to go into something like this, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, we welcome, you're very, very welcome to that. You got a good future in this, and we do, anything we can help you. Evan's going to be part of this team for as long as he wants to be part of this team, that's for sure, because he sure does have very good skill, and plus he's a local boy, and comes from a great family, so we're excited to have him aboard when he's able to get back with us. So that's
maybe we can steal him for sectional.
Well, maybe we can.
Well,
it all depends if his football coach lets him go.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, because
he's got to go get smarter
play college
than
football
us too. Yeah, so that may be a wish and a prayer.
Well, I'll cross my fingers. How about that? Maybe that'll work. That's going to wrap it up for us here on our coverage of the 55th Annual TCU Bi-County. We can't say thanks enough to Teachers Credit Union once again for stepping up, being our main sponsor for our broadcast, on top of the fact being a sponsor for this wonderful tournament that brings so many communities together and brings so many community kids together. And we saw some really good basketball once again this year. And so congratulations to both the Bremen Lady Lions and the John Glenn Falcons. The boys team, they are back-to-back Bi-County title champions, and well done, kids, well done. So thank you to A.J. Bodine back at the Max 98.3 studio, being our engineer. He did a fantastic job, as he always does. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Our next broadcast on Max 98.3 will be Ancilla College basketball next Wednesday night, as we'll be live from the Lifeplex. So we want you to join us for all the exciting action. And then we're back at it with more high school basketball on Friday. And, of course, again, we'll bring you all the action right here on the Voice of Marshall County Sports, Max 98.3. So for Evan Mangus and Doug Griffith, I'm Tony Ross for A.J. Bodine. Thanks for tuning in to this year's broadcast of the 55th Annual TCU Bi-County Basketball Tournament. So long, everybody.